The following is a special presentation of Fox Sports Net.
Football Saturdays on Fox Sports Net. It's game time, baby. You ready? Let's go. You know who the action's on. Choose what side you're on. Speed and power, build a squad. Let's go. That's my one goal. Fans and cheerleaders are getting it on. 10 stars to the zone. The game is on. 60 minutes on the clock. Players looking in to steal the rock. Let the defense line them up. QB trying to pass them up. Come on. The players and mascots are on deck. College football Saturdays on net.
The Fox Football Focus starts Saturday in Austin, Texas, on the campus of the University of Texas. The band and the gang's all here. Welcome to Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium as Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler present Big 12 football on Fox Sports Net. Today, the Oklahoma State Cowboys take on the Texas Longhorns, who are ranked number 2 in the nation. Hi, everyone. Bill Land to have you aboard here in Austin. Texas 4-0, taking care of business so far. Oklahoma State comes in at 2-2, but it's a new season, conference time. This is the first step for both these teams to head down the road to Houston, where they hope they'll be in the Big 12 championship game come December. Glad to have with me today Gary Reasons, 2-time Super Bowl champ, member of the College Football Hall of Fame. And Gary, if Texas is going to take that first step, they need a big day from their running back, Cedric Benson.
No doubt about it. Mack Brown knows that championships have been won here at Texas via the ground. They've run the football well in the past. Cedric Benson, his sophomore year, has been superb this year. He's 5th in the nation in total rushes. This young man can take over a football game between the tackles running the football. He's one of the best in the conference and just been great this year for the Longhorns.
As for the Cowboys of Oklahoma State, if the Pokes are going to get the big upset today, count on big plays being a part of it. That means quarterback Josh Fields and Rashawn Woods have to come to play.
Josh Fields, just a sophomore quarterback. This is his 5th start of his career, but he's a smart young quarterback because he knows he's got to throw the ball to Rashawn Woods, one of the best receivers in the country, let alone the Big 12. A great receiver, averaging 8 catches a game, Bill. He's an explosive player for the Cowboys.
Cowboys enter with a lot of confidence, hoping to knock off a major upset today. Now, let's join Bill Jones in our Fox Sports Net College Football studio. All you got to do is think back to the regular season finale last year. Fields against Oklahoma in Norman. Woods the reception, and OSU knocks off the then 6th-ranked Sooners 16-13 in Norman. Les Miles and crew celebrate. Now let's go down to the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Jim Knox, with head coach Miles.
All right, thank you, Bill. Coach, your team very much familiar on how to knock off top-ranked teams. You did it last year in Norman, Oklahoma. How do you pull the upset off today against the Texas Longhorns?
Play our football, play with confidence, put the pressure on them.
All right, best of luck, Coach. Coming up next, it should be a good one. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 Game of the Week. Oklahoma State against Texas. The kickoff is coming up.
This is the Computer ICU.
Horns here today as OSU won the toss, deferred on their selection till the second half. Cole Farden to kick it off, and he has put 16 of his last 21 that have been unreturned, and that is the case here as the Longhorns down it in the end zone, and they will come out offensively first. That means Chris Sims will lead the way, as Sims, the senior quarterback out of Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, and has done everything the coaches have asked of him to start things here this season, as Sims, 9 touchdown passes to just 2 interceptions so far for Chris Sims. Roy Williams not in the starting lineup today. Remember, he had the hamstring injury that kept him out of the Tulane game last week. Texas didn't need him. They won 49-0. OSU had the day off after pummeling SMU prior to that. Sims completes it on 1st and 10 and nearly gets it right out of the chute as the tackle is the reception is Sloan Thomas, and the tackle made on the play. It'll be a 2nd and short coming up. Sims, we mentioned the great start that he's had, almost 900 yards. In fact, has it with that play. The offensive line anchored by Doan and Dockery at the tackles, both Outland Trophy candidates. Benson having the terrific year, and Brock Edwards been one of the surprises at tight end as they have picked up the slack after the injury to Bo Scaife. 2nd down and 1 after the 9-yard toss to Thomas. And here's Benson off tackle, got the 1st down, and then hit hard by a host of Cowboy tacklers. Oklahoma State, Milligan making the tackle there on the defensive side. The Cowboys need big play from a big playmaker, Kevin Williams. He is a veteran. Co-captain Terrence Robinson heads the linebacking core. And in the secondary, Chris Massey is an all-conference type who is not only their leading tackler, but dangerous in the return game as well. Going to be 3rd and 1 as after Benson initially cut back, he was knocked for a slight loss there, and this time gets it, and Smith makes the tackle for the 1st down for the University of Texas. Let's take a look at the Texas game plan, Gary.
Well, obviously, they need to get Cedric Benson off and running the football. He's doing a great job so far this year. You see him early in the ballgame running it. They have to force the Cowboys when they're on defense to throw the ball, make them a one-dimensional team, and obviously better to take than to give. Win the turnover game, which the Longhorns have done all season.
Texas averaging 42 points a game. Sims, play action. Sloan Thomas just overthrown. Well, we knew that Oklahoma State would come out throwing some deep balls. Texas doesn't waste a whole lot of time as they go for Thomas on this one. Milligan covering.
Tight formation. They bring everyone in close to the line of scrimmage, and Chris Sims going to do a lot of play action fakes inside and try to get number 1, Sloan Thomas, who has excellent speed at the wide receiver position down the field. He was open. The ball just a little bit overthrown. Sloan Thomas showing that he's an exceptional receiver. Had a big game last week against Tulane, and he's a good receiver in this offense for Mac Brown and Chris Sims.
2nd and 10, Roy Williams in the game for the 1st time at the top of your screen. Sims in trouble, shovels it, and Benson nowhere. Oklahoma State coming with the pressure, and Robinson makes the tackle.
Tough play to get started there in the middle screen to your tailback, but I tell you, when Oklahoma State plays well defensively, they've got to have some leadership. Their defensive bell cows, which Bill Clay, their defense coordinator, tells me those are the leaders. Defensive linemen. Kevin Williams has to play well, and we saw Terrence Robinson on that play. And Kirk Milligan in the secondary is a guy who's come up and played well for them. I think they all have to play well today to slow down a very potent Longhorn attack.
3rd down and 12 for the Cowboys at the 30-yard line. Opening series for the University of Texas. Sims. Complete. And stopped at the 36-yard line where they're going to have to punt the football, but a flag is thrown. A little extracurricular after the play.
Yeah, may have a late hit here, an unnecessary roughness piling on after the catch.
David Thomas, the receiver.
That's actually against the Longhorns. Not going to go in their favor, so they're going to be forced to punt.
And Oklahoma State on the punt return as Bradford sets up for the University of Texas. He's averaging 41.1 yards per punt. And back for the Cowboys, Terrence Davis Bryant, the lone receiver.
I think Terrence Davis Bryant could be an X factor in his ball game. He's an explosive returner.
Bradford gets it off cleanly. Low kick. Davis Bryant brought down shy of the 40-yard line. Oklahoma State wins the field position game here. Let's take a look at the Oklahoma State lineup as Josh Fields, Gary mentioned, just his 5th start of his career, had the 2 finish-up jobs and victories last year. Eaton and Russell, the tackles, are both anchors on the offensive line. Shaw is their leading rusher, although they will use 3 backs, and the man in the middle there, Rashawn Woods, is the go-to guy with 32 receptions coming in. We'll look at the Texas defensive group in just a moment as Fields brings them on, and this huge crowd of 80,000 plus makes the noise here. 1st and 10, Oklahoma State. First play to the 45-yard line as Seymour Shaw carries the football. He's tackled by Stevie Lee, who's going to get the start today. Put him in at one of the tackles. Redding is certainly an honors candidate. McClintock's battled the injuries. They're glad to have him back. Linebackers all solid, all fast. Boyd, the leading tackler on the team. And in the secondary, we look primarily for the matchup. Number 3, Nathan Vasher will have the chore of manning up against Rashawn Woods most of the day. He's missed the last game or two because of an ankle injury. 2nd down, and Fields wanting to throw it. Complete to Woods. He steps out of bounds, has the 1st down inside Texas territory near the 45-yard line. Rashawn Woods brought down and knocked away by Michael Huff.
Well, this time Rod Babers, the defensive cornerback, has coverage on Woods, who's going to come down and push off. Woods, you see his explosiveness here, and he comes back to the football, kind of pushes Babers out of the way. Good throw by Fields, and watch Rashawn Woods after the catch. An explosive, big receiver who can make guys break tackles.
Woods, since the start of last season, is number 2 in the nation in receptions. 113 catches since the start of last year. Right up the middle is Shaw, busted to the 30, and another 1st down for Oklahoma State. After the 11-yard pass play to Woods, 14 yards on the ground. This fits the OSU game plan, Gary.
No doubt about it. When they come in here, they have to do some key things to win this football game. And obviously, they've got to corral the Longhorns running game with Cedric Benson. They did that on their first series. And here in the second part, they've got to go over the field to the Woods, throw the ball from the quarterback to Rashawn Woods. They're doing that, and no turnovers. No turnovers here in this football game is key for the Cowboys to have success.
Yeah, special teams, both teams come in strong in that area. 1st and 10 at the 30 for OSU. Fields throws the jump ball. And incomplete as Woods, the intended receiver, covered by Huff. And Texas will tell you they're going to help on any deep ball if they can, but they don't feel they can afford to just go out and double Rashawn Woods.
Well, they can't double him all the time. He's an excellent receiver, but you have other guys they can throw to. You see the mindset, though, of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. They want to throw the ball outside to Rashawn Woods. They'll throw it up. They feel like he can go up over the smaller cornerbacks that University of Texas have. They're 5'9", 5'8". They're not the biggest cornerbacks out there, so they feel like if they throw it up in the air, he'll go up and make the grab.
2nd down and 10 at the Longhorn 30. First possession for Oklahoma State. Fields again to throw it. Got time and incomplete. Intended for Tim Burrow out of the backfield, the junior fullback from Moore, Oklahoma. And Cedric Griffin was there to cover for the University of Texas.
Well, the Texas defense, Bill, is based on speed. They have a lot of speed at the defensive line position, the linebackers in the secondary. They all run to the football well, and if you're going to try to beat this team, it's going to be very difficult to go to the outside and try to win there. You see the coverage there good by the Longhorns, and that just shows you their team speed on defense.
Big 3rd down and 10 for Oklahoma State. We're talking 47-yard field goal attempt from here if they don't get the 1st. Fields tosses it, and it is complete to Lewis. John, a senior from Port Arthur, Texas, where Rod Babers makes the tackle, and Lewis gets his 11th reception of the year. And that sets him up short of the 1st down, but definite field goal range.
Definite field goal range. Manageable here in the middle of the field. Good job of bringing the ball inside between the hash marks. I think the Texas defense might be a little bit vulnerable in the middle of the field, throwing the ball inside there. Good completion for the Cowboys and sets up a field goal, Bill.
It will be a 39-yard field goal attempt for Luke Phillips. Phillips, a junior out of Tulsa. His longest 46. He's hit 3 of 4 so far this year. Snap is good, the hold is fine, and the kick is good. And the Cowboys, as they did a year ago, jump out and take the lead. It is 3-0 Oklahoma State. We'll be back with more Dr. Pepper Big 12 football in a moment.
Against SMU, the Cowboys did exactly what they wanted. 7 consecutive offensive possessions and 7 scores.
So the Cowboys will kick it off again. And once again, they take care of business as Farden doing the job that Les Miles needs. You want to deny that Texas return game, will kick it out of the end zone.
That's a good weapon to have. That way you know that your defense goes out there no worse than the 20-yard line each time.
So Texas will get its second possession with Chris Sims and crew to come on. Oklahoma State started off the year with a loss to Louisiana Tech, in which they led late in the third quarter. They then bounced back, beat Northern Iowa, lost to UCLA 38-24, and then hammered SMU 52-16. Texas has not really been challenged throughout their first 4 ball games. 1st and 10, the ball on the 20. Sims to Benson. Breaking tackles, shedding them left and right. And nice work by the sophomore from Midland, Texas, Paul Duran, a freshman out of Del City, Oklahoma, makes the tackle for the Pokes.
Well, this is why he's one of the best backs in the conference, because he has the strength. He's got a good lower body center of gravity that allows him to break tackles. Good job that time bouncing to the outside and running through arm tackles. The Cowboys have to gain tackle. Good job by the Longhorns of containing the defense inside, allowing Cheddar to get a few yards in the corner.
Benson's season's best, 208 and 2 touchdowns, and a win at North Carolina, the only road victory so far this year for Texas. And a timeout is called, and we will take a brief break. You're watching Big 12 football on Fox Sports Net. Oklahoma State, the leader, 3-0. Makes the tackle after a 10-yard pickup.
Bill, I'm going to tell you why it's good to have a tailback like Cedric Benson, because you can play fake to him. Everyone has to honor him. Watch the play fake here. Chris Sims going to fake it to the right side. There's Cedric Benson. He flips around and throws the slip screen out to his wide receiver, Sloan Thomas. A big Robbie Doan, number 71. Just good serviceable block there. Get in front of the cornerback. And good job by Sloan Thomas getting a first down for Texas.
Thomas has picked up the slack with an injury to Roy Williams. Here's Benson on first down, and he gets 10 right there. Plus, Massey with the tackle again, and Dockery leading the way on that Texas front, Gary.
I think one of the most unsung heroes on this Texas offensive line this year is number 76. He's a right offensive tackle. That is Derek Dockery. Watch the job he does here on his man, just walling to the outside or taking him inside wherever he wants to go, and Cedric Benson runs right off of his tail. That's what you need to do. You have to have big offensive linemen that can block real well. He's done a good job, Bill. He's played guard and tackle for the Longhorns.
Give him 9 on the play. 2nd and a short 1. Benson takes care of that this time. Pulls his way to midfield, and Texas has got it going all of a sudden. Elbert Craig, the rover back, makes the tackle out of Oklahoma City.
Over time, the offensive line play and the defensive line play, whoever wins the battle up front, by and large, are going to win football games. And right now, the Texas offense says, hey, we're going to hunker down here. We're going to run the football. We're going to run it right at this Cowboys defense, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, if you ask Mac Brown for an assessment of the first 4, for the most part, very pleased. The one thing he has said, I want our team to become much more physical, particularly offensively, to where we can knock people off the football and wear people out like you need to do if you're going to win in the Big 12. 1st and 10 for Sims. The play action. Steps out of trouble and incomplete. Intended at the 31-yard line for B.J. Johnson.
You know, Bill, the Longhorns have a core of wide receivers that are very talented. They can't play man-to-man coverage all day long. Today, this series, this play, they actually go with zone coverage. Play action fake here to Benson. Going to hold the linebackers a little bit. You see the elusiveness of Sims and his poise in the pocket thrown to the void of the defense, which is behind the cornerback in cover 2, which is 2-deep zone coverage. Right through B.J. Johnson's hands. Could have been a catch.
2nd and 10 at midfield for Texas. Second possession for the Longhorns. A Phillips 39-yard field goal put OSU on the board first. Sims. Roy Williams got hammered. Williams hammered by Durant Williams, a sophomore out of Fort Worth Wyatt. Woo, what a hit.
Well, pressure that time inside. The Cowboys decide to blitz Chris Sims. They bring him inside, try to get into his face. Good job by the quarterback of reading the blitz and going outside. The first ball thrown to Roy Williams. Obviously a good hit there on the defensive side.
Sets up a 3rd and 10 here. Texas on the year, 25 of 60, 42% in 3rd down conversions. No backs now behind the quarterback Sims. Robin was the man that went in motion. Sims looking for help and completes it at the 36-yard line. That will move the chains as Kobina Amu made the tackle, but out of the backfield, it was Brett Robin, junior from Austin Westlake.
Well, if you've got a lot of time to throw the football and you're in man coverage on defense, it is difficult to stay with your man. Sloan Thomas, credit to him, he just continues to work, doing a good job of working because the receivers have to adjust their routes. Here you find Sims is going to break, contain, and come to the outside, and watch Sloan Thomas just continue to work and go back to the quarterback. You see him down here at the bottom and work in. That's what you have to do. Find a void in the defense and the quarterback. Good, smart play.
Yeah, let me correct that. Thomas getting the reception. He's having a great afternoon right from the beginning here. And then Texas back on the ground with Benson rolling to the 32 before Richmond makes the tackle. I was going to mention that Thomas had 6 grabs in the Houston game when Williams went out, Gary. 5 against Tulane and 3 already here today. They are not a one-man receiving corps by any means.
Well, you'll see they'll throw it around. They'll throw it to their tight end. They'll throw it to Cedric Benson out of the backfield. Chris Sims, hey, he reads the defense. He's a senior quarterback. He's been through this time and time again. The key thing for him to play well this year, Mac Brown told us, is, hey, take what the defense gives you. Don't try to force things in there, and don't make mistakes.
2nd and 5 this time. Benson, flag thrown. Finds a hole across the 30-yard line down near the 28. Kevin Williams makes the tackle for Oklahoma State. Benson has caught 10 footballs this year in addition to his over 100 carries for 500+ yards on the ground.
Now, we talked about keys of the game with Cedric Benson. Got to get him the football. Bill, I think they need to get it to him 25+ times a game, and so far this season they have done that.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
It doesn't matter whether you throw it or run it to him. You know, you allow him to get his hands on the ball. And by and large, he's going to wear out a defense. I think he actually plays better in the second half.
I think Mac Brown was kind of setting him up for that. He had 37 carries 2 weeks ago against Houston in a game they didn't need to do that, but he said he wanted to rest him a little bit against Tulane, where he only carried 18. He got Selvin Young into the act there, so they really feel confident if something should happen to Benson, and we'll see some of Young regardless. 1st and 10 at the 27 of Oklahoma State. Good looking drive for the Longhorns. Sims, and brought down. Good pressure in the front, but that was a coverage sack, if you will, as Greg Richmond makes the tackle.
No doubt about it. Manned up, outside, all around. They do a good job of taking care of business in the secondary. Everyone has a man, has their responsibility. Chris Sims is in the pocket. He's going to step back, and he's got a lane here on both sides that he's going to step up into. Thinks he can buy some time, but good job by the Cowboys continuing to the quarterback and getting a sack. Now, Chris Sims has been sacked more times this year than he'd like to be, but I think that's more smart play, not throwing interceptions. He's only has 2 for the year, Bill. 2nd sack of the year for Richmond, and it's now 2nd down and 11 for the Cowboys. They pitch to Benson, looking for a hole, and it's not there, as he is stopped shy of the 25-yard line, where Albert Craig is again on the tackle. Yeah, Albert Craig's the rover back. The defensive back comes in there for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, doing a good job. He's a physical senior player. He's one of those guys that's very active out there, the leading tackler for that football team, and expect him to be around the football most of the time. Oklahoma State's giving up nearly 26 points a game, and Craig and Massey have been very good. The problem is when those guys are leading you in tackles, that means you're not getting it done up front. Well, that's kind of by design. Actually, the rover back is their 3rd linebacker here in this defense, so expect him to make a lot of plays. We'll take a brief timeout with Texas trailing 3-0 but driving. I think the Cowboys have played inspired football. Their defense has done a great job. I think the secondary coverage of the receivers of Texas Longhorns, they've done a great job being able to do that. As we go back to the play here, I tell you, the offense for the Texas Longhorns looks like they're not in sync, Bill. They're not getting things accomplished the way they need to. They're set up here for a 4th and long situation to make a punt. So we'll start where we finished, and that means the punt, and Bradford again back to his goal line. Low snap and barely got it off. Caught at the 40 and to the 50 to the 40, 30, and down inside to the 26-yard line. Terrence Davis Bryant with a superb return, and the Cowboys are knocking on the door again. Well, I mentioned him earlier in the ball game that he might be an X factor in the return game, making plays for the Cowboys. Obviously, with that play, they're going to have great field position at the 27, 28-yard line. You see the protection here? Not great for the Longhorns. A poor punt, and Terrence Davis takes it right through the heart of the Longhorns coverage and does a good job bringing it down into Longhorn territory.
46-yard punt, 34-yard return for the senior from Houston, and don't you know he wants a big game back in his home state today. 1st and 10, the ball on the 27 of Texas for the Cowboys. Burrow, the man, back and forth in motion. Fields, they bring it after him, and it is complete to Burrow at the 25. Give him a yard or two. Derek Johnson, sophomore speedster at linebacker, making the stop.
One of the best linebackers in the conference, Derek Johnson, running from his weak linebacker spot out to the flats. You're not going to get around the corner too many times on DJ. He is a great player, great speed, and one of the leaders of this Longhorn defense.
Well, Oklahoma State, 3-0. An opportunity here. We talk about special teams, and they're coming into play. Texas has missed a field goal. Oklahoma State has made one. The return game there going for Oklahoma State. 2nd down and 8. Fields sets, now in trouble. A host of tacklers and throws it away. Oh, talk about a Longhorn stampede as they brought Griffin and a couple of others that really flushed Fields out of the pocket.
Yeah, Carl Reese, the defense coordinator for the Longhorns, said, hey, we're going to put some pressure on this young quarterback, and Josh Fields had plenty of it there. The one thing I noticed in that sequence, Bill, was he was locked in on his one receiver. That was Rashawn Woods outside, and if Rashawn wasn't open, he had nowhere to throw it. He actually tried to force that ball in there on that pass.
Saw Tubbs leading cheers for Texas. 3rd down and 8. Cowboys are 0-2 in 3rd downs, and now we've got to jump off sides here as flags litter the field.
Now the crowd knows when to roar here at Memorial Stadium. I tell you that, I think that might be the problem down there. Communication on the offensive side is difficult when you have a loud stadium, and that's exactly what happened here.
Ball start offense. 5 yards. Replay 3rd down.
And the damage here, more than just the opportunity to get the 1st down, but you're talking field goal range and 5 more yards.
Well, they're still in field goal range because they've got an excellent kicker who kicked a pair of 52-yarders a year ago. But I think they still want to get down there a little closer, knocking on the door. Remember, a similar situation last time they drove down into Longhorn territory. They got a medium-range pass, which set up a nice field goal opportunity in the middle of the field. They can go one of 2 ways here. Throw it down the field to Woods or go to the middle of the field and make a big play.
3rd and 13. Fields is sacked. Boyd is there. Reed Boyd. And now they are out of field goal range.
Well, this is what you call a HUD technique sack. Reed Boyd is the middle linebacker, number 45, who's going to have coverage, actually, but he does a good job on his back block. He's able to make the sack here. Take a look here. Here's Reed Boyd. He's got coverage right there, but he's going to block, and so that allows Reed Boyd to come through here and make the play. Good job of being aggressive, and that's a technique that defensive coordinators teach their linebackers. If your man blocks, go find the quarterback.
That means Cole Farton comes on to punt it away. And it goes into the end zone, so no return, but a big defensive stop for the University of Texas. Let's see if they get their offense going down 3-0. Go down to Jim Knox. It's only getting warmer here today, huh, Jim?
Yeah, I tell you what, and speaking of warm, the Longhorns defense turned up the heat after that defensive series. Did a great job right there. Rod Babers came over to the bench, goes, way to go, guys. But as the game goes on, he could definitely be a factor. Unseasonably warm temperatures right here in October in Austin. Now, keep in mind, guys, these two teams have never played an afternoon game. Longhorns played it last week, but that was inside at the New Orleans Superdome. He could be a factor later on.
Yeah, and they, of course, had the 2 home games here at night and a road game at North Carolina. On the carry on 2nd down and 4, Robinson makes...
Well, the game plan is to run the football for the Longhorns. They're just staying with it. 1st down, pound it in there. 2nd down, pound it in there. Now they bring up a 3rd and short situation, 3rd manageable. This is where Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, can be a little bit creative. On a 3rd and 1, you can go for a play-action pass, or you can try to pound it in there. They've got their short yardage offense in there with the 3 tight ends and the big tailback.
Benson, 8 carries, 37 yards, 3rd and 1 from the 29. Benson, and he is short. Starting at the 20, they had to get to the 30, and Kevin Williams is there to trip him up. So Chris Sims signaling, let's go for it, Mac.
Well, this is a huge play here for the Cowboys. Good job on 3rd and short, getting into the backfield and knocking Benson off track. They're forcing a punt situation here, which is a huge, huge momentum swing here in this football game.
You saw the disappointment in the face of Chris Sims as Bradford's going to come on for the punt. Now, we have seen the fake punt out of Texas already this year. Would be pretty bold in this situation, though, as you're already trailing 3-0.
But they do it again, Bill.
They do it again and do come up with it. The first down, and they've got the guy to get it done.
That's Beautrehan, number 18. He has done this 2 times so far this football season. Both times they have gotten the first down. Beautrehan, the fullback on the punt team, is going to run through there. Good job of blocking up front. Beautrehan has made 2 first downs on fake punts and scored a touchdown against the Green Wave last week in the Superdome.
Yeah, Trahan is a guy who is actually a quarterback, a fierce hitter on special teams, and shows that he still knows what to do with the football. So Texas keeps possession, 1st and 10 from the 33. Benson. And good run, hard hit by Terrence Robinson, the senior linebacker from Tyler, Texas.
Seems like the offensive line for the Longhorns is turning it on and turning it on in power spurts. And they're not doing it every single play against the Cowboys defense, because I think Oklahoma State has played pretty well, but it seems like they've got some spurts. When they get Cedric Benson the ball and he's got big holes in front of him, you know that offensive line is coming off and getting good blocks.
2nd down and 6. Ball at the 37 for the Longhorns here. 2nd quarter, 10:27 remaining. 2-back set with Benson behind Trissel. Cedric is hit hard and a loss. Well, you give a yard or 2. Let's see. No, he can be lost in the play of Williams making the tackle. Senior from Fordyce, Arkansas. Kevin Williams.
Kevin Williams does exactly what he needs to. He stands up his blocker on the left side here. That's going to be 58 Williams right there. Step up and make a play. He's going to make a good surge inside here, take care of the blocker, and then hit and make a good tackle. It's exactly what you do. Slide down the line of scrimmage, make a play on the tailback, play it from inside out. Good play.
3rd down and 8. The ball on the 35. Sims in trouble. Throws the dink, and it is going to be ruled incomplete. Robinson was there to cover. Robin, the receiver. So again, the OSU defense 3 and out. It's 4th down they got to be aware of now.
That's a good series there for them. Hey, it was a long play, long drive, but they had a chance to negate here, and that's exactly what they do. You see Chris Sims trying to make a little dink pass here to get into Brett Robin. Good job that time by the Cowboys. The coverage has been excellent outside. The receivers have been taken away, so Chris Sims is trying to find somebody to throw it to.
So back is Terrence Davis Bryant. Snap to Bradford. And this one, not a good kick, comes off and doesn't get much of a roll. Now he does, and it goes down to the 25-yard line, so they'll come out of it in pretty good shape. And a timeout call with a 3-0 Oklahoma State following the 40-yard punt. Texas Memorial Stadium, Oklahoma State, a 39-yard field goal from Phillips. Texas has missed a field goal attempt. And I'm Bill Land, along with Gary Reasons and Jim Knox, as we sit 9:25 in the 2nd period. And Oklahoma State back with the football, 1st and 10 on its own 24. Fields with a play action. Completes the pass, but not much on the play, as Vasher makes the tackle. Gary, we talked before the game. We're talking about both teams feeling they need to have big plays and explosive plays. They call it a key to winning.
Really, both teams actually chart these. Runs 10 yards or more and passes 20 yards or more. Offensively, defensively, if they win that category for their football team, they feel like they can win a game. Mack Brown, he's charted this for 25 years as a football coach, and he says it is a constant that they win football games when they win those elements. Mike
Denard, the receiver, only got 2 on that play. Now here's Shaw again, a flag thrown, a big play here out to the 45. Babers makes the tackle, but a penalty thrown near the 34-yard line.
Good job bouncing it outside, but they're going to have a holding penalty against the Cowboys, going to negate this nice run.
Cowboys trying to mix it up just a little bit here.
On the run, 10-yard penalty at the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
Penalty-wise, teams are pretty similar, as Oklahoma State's averaging 8.5 per game for nearly 70 yards, and Texas has been penalized 9 times a game for 80 yards.
Well, penalties are almost, when they aggregate, they total up. It's almost like turnovers in a football game. If you get 7, 8, 9 penalties in a football game, that could be 80 to 100 yards. Obviously, that's 80 to 100 yards of field position, and that's ultimately a score.
2nd and 10, ball at the 24. Intercepted, Vasher, and Texas gets the first big break of the day. Nathan Vasher comes up with the interception. He had one a year ago against Oklahoma State, and now they're saying, wait a minute.
Well, Josh Fields throws it outside. He's trying to get the ball to John Lewis. They're not going to get an interception on that, or they actually do. Take a look here at the top. You got Vasher, and here's John Lewis right here. He's going to work up and back to the quarterback. I think that John Lewis actually quits on his good jam that time by Vasher. Throws him off course. Oh, the ball looks like it might have hit the ground right out there, and good call by the officials.
Vasher took it on the dribble.
Now, that's a good hand jam at the line of scrimmage. Take that receiver off course, and it messes up the timing between him and the quarterback.
Good call by the officials to spot it. They want to wait for the football.
Yeah, we got the line judge on the far side of the field is throwing a penalty flag.
5 yards. Replay third down.
Now, this is so close here, though, on this interception opportunity. Take a look at on the outside here, Vasher. Watch his jam. That is impressive from a cornerback. And then come back and make a play on the football. Just got to make the grab. The ball is out, and you see it right underneath him in the shadow. The ball clearly hits the ground.
So the Cowboys dodge the bullet there, if you will, and now 3rd and 15. They're going to face that Texas defense pinning its ears back. Line of scrimmage to 19. And they come back to Rashawn Woods. When in doubt, go to your big playmaker. Babers makes the tackle, but he rolls to the 34-yard line. Very close to the first down. Let's see where they spot it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit short, Bill, but that's what they want to do, get Rashawn Woods an opportunity to catch the football. Isolate him. He's on the single receiver side on the near side of the field. And just run him on a quick skinny post. He's going to come inside. Josh Fields looking to the right and just zinging it back inside to Rashawn Woods. Good job that time by Babers of stopping short of the first down.
Farden comes on to punt the football again on a 4th and less than 1, and no funny business from Oklahoma State. And it is a fair catch for Texas inside its 25-yard line. Longhorns trail 3-0, 7:52 to go in the half. How long? Well, they had been ranked since 1981. Ronald Reagan was our president. You see the top TV shows. The Dow Jones.
Wow.
2024.
It's getting close.
That first-class stamp is what does it. That thing's almost double.
A little Miss Pac-Man action. These guys are playing Xbox now. It's a whole different game video-wise.
Sloan Thomas at the 45 and stretches to the 50-yard line. First down, Texas. Durant Williams makes the tackle.
Sloan Thomas, good job that time. Run the skinny post inside here. You got him ISO. He's going to come up and work inside. Chris Sims looks up the top of the field and comes right back to the receiver. Watch him get inside the cornerback and inside the safety. That's right down the hash marks. Excellent job in execution.
18 yards in the pickup. 4th catch, 50 yards for the day for Thomas. 1st and 10 at midfield for the Longhorns.
Empty backfield here. 5 receivers set for the Longhorns.
Sims. Thomas again. And Thomas will move the chains to the 39-yard line. Pickup of 11. Durant Williams making the tackle.
Well, he's the beneficiary of Roy Williams, number 4, who's a big play wide receiver in the Big 12 Conference. Roy Williams lines up in the slot. Sloan Thomas works underneath him on that play. The Longhorns have found a system here that works to go with a no-huddle offense.
6:50 and counting, first half. 1st and 10, 39-yard line. Again, the empty backfield, and Sims picking them apart now as Johnson the reception. And again, another first down. Let's see where they mark his progress as Elbert Craig made the tackle on B.J. Johnson.
Well, take a look what the Longhorns are doing. They're spreading everything out on the field. They've got all 5 receivers out in the package here. Quarterback is just finding the open guys with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They run down, and then we're going to throw the ball inside. Good job that time by Sims on the delivery. B.J. Johnson goes up and makes a nice grab. The Longhorns, hey, they're finding their rhythm, and Oklahoma State's forced to call a timeout.
Well, and you also think about Texas and this team as B.J. Johnson who earlier this year had a string of 27 straight games in which he caught a pass, and Matt Brown has told him, don't worry about any of those record stuff, just get the win. And Johnson coming back in more his day today. Now, throwing the football, Chris Sims struggled just a bit. He's got it going here. Last year, no struggle. Early on, they were down 10-0, but Sims, a banner day with 5 touchdown passes.
Well, and it started in the second quarter a year ago also, Bill, for the Longhorns. Roy Williams gets into the action. He throws it outside, does a good job here of receiving. You see the ability that Roy Williams has. Chris Sims is a very capable quarterback, and now as a senior, he's making the smart throws, not only making great throws here in this football game, but he's able to make the right and correct throw and not putting the Longhorns in jeopardy when he throws the football. Well,
and the thing was, he had more time, you saw, on those touchdown throws that he's had today. Now, this series, it's been like a different deal with the no-huddle. 4 of 4 for 51 yards for Sims, and the Longhorns have it on the 26-yard line with a 1st and 10. Heads-up timeout, I think, for Oklahoma State. They were reeling a bit. Again, no backs.
Yeah, got a dime package in here for the defense for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. They had to make some personnel adjustments to cover these 5 wide receivers.
Sims to Johnson, pop loose. Incompletion is the rule, though, as good hit by Albert Craig.
Yeah, Albert Craig, I talked about him earlier. He's that weak safety. They call him a rover, weak safety in this defense, coming downhill and making a big hit there and lodging, knocking the ball away.
And if Oklahoma State's going to win today, you kind of figure turnovers is going to figure in there. Texas, for example, 42 points off turnovers the last 2 games. Oklahoma State comes in +2 in turnovers. Texas is +6 on the year. Second and 10. And it is complete inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal. Amu makes the tackle.
That's Roy Williams, his first catch of the ball game. He's getting into the act here. He's in the slot, and he's going to be able to get down the field and get behind the void. This is a hard corner. This is cover 2. You have a safety at the top of the screen here who's not able to make the play. Roy Williams gets in the void of the defense. Good throw and good execution by Chris Sims and the Longhorns.
1st and goal to go. Ball marked at the 8-yard line after the pickup of 18 yards to Williams. Knocked away and nearly picked off.
Wow, that would have been a huge play.
Paul Durham, a weak side linebacker, not only deflected it, but then had a chance to pick it off.
Boy, he wish he had wings on that one. If he could catch, go get that ball and take that one down for a big play for the Cowboys. That's what you need to do. Put pressure in the face of the quarterback, and good job that time by Oklahoma State batting the ball down. Hey, when you're a defense and they're knocking on your door, somebody needs to step up and make a play. You don't really care who it is, but somebody needs to set the tone for the defense.
See Texas in the red zone, inside the 20, 22 chances, 14 TDs, 4 field goals. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Thomas and Williams to the left. Johnson, Shanahan, and crew to the right. And Thomas off his hands. Pawing away was Durant Williams in the secondary. Sloan Thomas, the intended receiver.
Interesting here, Bill. They've got 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line, yet they still want to go with the 5 wide receivers. Chris Sims is delivering, throws the ball inside to Sloan Thomas, who just does not catch the football. He knows he has an opportunity to catch it. Sometimes the quarterback has to take a little licking and bingo. But why does Greg Davis choose to stay with 5 wide receivers? You've got your tailback who's actually running pretty well. You're inside the 10-yard line. I would think the Longhorns want to pound it in there.
And Texas, yeah, we've heard so much about the rushing game and establishing that and riding Benson. Now 3rd and goal from the 8. Benson in the lineup, just to the back of the right. And whistles will stop everything here.
Offense, 5 yards, replay 3rd down.
A couple of things here for the Longhorns. They're not in sync. I talked about that earlier. 10 players on the field in one play. A couple of late calls here as far as getting set to the line of scrimmage. Hey, that's communication problems from the sideline to the quarterback. And the Longhorns, tell you, when you're down inside the goal, inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal, now you're backed up 3rd and long on the 14. Things aren't going real well for you.
And it'll be, Gary mentioned, 3rd and goal from the 13 now as it's pushed back. Same unit. Benson stays in the backfield. Thomas wide left. Johnson in the slot right. Sims in trouble. Going to keep it and brought down at the 10-yard line. And Terrence Robinson is there to make the play. And Brown had put the pressure on him. So Oklahoma State holds here for what appears to be a Texas 3.
Well, you see the safety in the middle of the field. He's going to cover everything inside. You got man coverage here and here. Everyone is covered, doing a good job here for Oklahoma State. They got a bracket on the number 2 receivers, which are going up the field, and Chris Sims sees that everyone's covered, pulls it down, and tries to make something happen. Good job that time by Terrence Robert, the middle linebacker, slipping out and making a play on Sims.
Here's Mangum on. After, remember, he had the 37-yard field goal attempt that he missed on, just wide. That was at the other end.
Yeah, the Cowboys are giving the Longhorns everything they want here in this football game.
Yeah, there is no question that Oklahoma State playing with confidence, and I think they've gotten that because they've been tested. The UCLA game was a pretty good example. Turnovers killed them in that game. They felt they should have beaten the Bruins.
Well, I think Les Miles on this drive called a very, very smart timeout. They're going with a 5 wide receiver offense with the Longhorns, and they made some adjustments defensively to cover that. So I think that was probably a smart play on behalf of Les Miles, making that timeout call there and getting his defense set. Hey, they played very well here on this 1st and goal situation.
All right, this will be a 27-yarder. See, he missed the 37-yarder earlier. But again, opposite end, wind at his back. And Mangum trying to tie the game up. And this one is good. We start all over. 3-3, 5:52 to go in the half. And Massey is deep for the kick return. The best in the nation last year, has done very well this year at 24 yards per return, but has not taken one back for a touchdown as he did last year against this Texas ball club. Richmond McGee with a kickoff. Massey will down it in the end zone. Let's go down now to sideline man Jim Knox.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Coming up on the Sonic America's Drive-In halftime report, we will head to our college football Fox Sports Net studios. Join Bill Jones, who will preview tonight's Oklahoma-Missouri game. Also, we'll update you on Texas A&M against Texas Tech. That's coming up at halftime on the Sonic America's Drive-In halftime report. Bill?
Thank you. Yeah, of course, everybody in Oklahoma and Texas looking ahead to next week. The coaches hoping their teams aren't, because all the fans have already discounted all these other games. Well, Oklahoma State has shown here today that you better not look ahead, as they're deadlocked at 3. Missouri will try to knock off Oklahoma later tonight on Fox Sports Net. Keeping it on the ground, and Shaw just a couple before he's stopped by Austin Sendline. Of course, Oklahoma ranked number 3 in the nation. Texas sitting here at number 2, and they play next week at the State Fair of Texas at the Cotton Bowl. One of the most highly anticipated games of the year.
Well, they got to take care of business here today. Oklahoma State has come to play some football. It's a knotted up ball game. That's probably a penalty here. We're going to have a participation here. You see a Cowboy run off the field.
You cannot break the huddle with 12 players, and that was the violation here as Cowboys, we push back a few. If you're Mac Brown, you got to be thinking, Gary, 3 and out, get some pressure. You're going to get an excellent scoring position, a chance to take the lead before the half.
No, I don't think Mac Brown is concerned. His football team is in this game as well. I think that Oklahoma State has come in here and played very well defensively, shut down the Longhorns offense. Over the first few ball games, the Longhorns have kind of been a slow starting team, so that's not really surprising for a lot of people who watch this football team.
2nd and 13 for Josh Fields and crew. Play action. Nobody biting on that. It is complete, though. Badgerman, the tight end, a big-time grab as he was crunched. And somehow Fields threaded that one to him. Dorian McCullough was there to make the stop. A hard 7 yards, Gary.
I tell you, Josh Fields is going to get hit. You're going to have pressure here come from the outside. He's going to hit it. You see Bahama coming across the middle of the field. He's going to find his big tight end. But, hey, the quarterback gets whacked, but he delivers a strike here to his tight end.
Fields is now 6 of 11 for 44 yards. It's 3rd and 6. He throws it up, and it is picked up but dropped. Oh, my. Everything but caught by Dakari Pearson. Pearson, who has 3 interceptions on the year to lead this team. Thought he had number 4.
Now Dakari Pearson's running across there and trying to make a play on the football. Receivers have got bunch pattern here. They're going to try to get down and get to the middle of the field. And Josh Fields, he throws the ball up. They throw the ball up, want the receivers to go up and get it. He just doesn't get it back there to Terrence Davis Bryant. You see Pearson coming across, should make that interception.
Nathan Vasher is back as you see the back of Cole Farton. Good snap on a 4th and 6. Line of scrimmage the 24. Vasher decides to take it. And he is corralled at the 46-yard line. Forward progress stop down to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Bill. I tell you what, the more and more Oklahoma State holds on and hangs into this football game, tied at 3. This team continues to gain confidence. Rashawn Woods feeling really loose down here on the sidelines. He came back even though they were held on offense. All smiles. They're very confident right now. We'll see what happens. Also, when the defense took the field, they said no more points, no more points. We'll see if that holds up as well.
Well, Les Miles in his second year, 4-7 last year. They had the 2 late wins against Baylor and Oklahoma where Fields came off the bench to lead them. But they had a couple of other close calls that they very easily could have won that got this team maybe to a 6-win mark. So they came in with some confidence here. 1st and 10 for Sims and crew. Complete at midfield. Slow Thomas jukes and then chases across to the 42-yard line. And Massey makes the tackle. And Sloan Thomas having a banner day on a 14-yard pickup there.
Well, Greg Davis choosing to go with 5 wide receivers again here for his offensive set. Going to be a no-huddle situation again. Chris Sims, I think, is feeling pretty comfortable in the pocket, throwing to Sloan Thomas outside. Big junior from Klein, Texas, doing a good job here for the Longhorns in this first half.
Thomas now his 6th reception, 75 yards with 3:40 to go first half. 1st and 10 Longhorns. Thomas wide at the top of your screen. Sims in trouble. Got rid of it just in time as he was within the grasp of Greg Richmond.
Now, Greg Richmond was breathing down his back on the backside, coming around the corner. Chris Sims is looking for someone to get open, but Richmond gets there a little early. But Chris does a good thing of throwing the ball away, not making a negative play here for his offense. And bring up a 2nd and 10 situation, but that's probably the better opportunity to have that instead of having the sack, obviously, Bill.
Longhorns, who have won 15 straight home games, the 5th best streak in the nation, trying to take the lead for the first time today. It is tied at 3, and it is 2nd and 10 for Texas. 41-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Cowboys showing blitz. Sims senses it, takes off right up the middle, and slides in safely for the first down as Massey there to make the stop.
Well, any offense coordinator is going to say, hey, they're going to go out and cover my guys. At some point, I'm going to run the quarterback draw. That's exactly what we got here. You see the big offensive line for the Longhorns doing a good job of rolling everybody to the outside. Chris Sims, big guy, 6'5", 225 pounds, does a good job of running through there and getting a first down.
14 yards on the pickup for Sims, and although he's negative in rushing yards, he can run the football. Those negative yards come, of course, from the early season sacks. 1st and 10, ball batted up. Sims, great job to knock it down. Could have caught his own, but he'd been sacked for a loss had he.
Kind of reminds me of his dad. I remember him as a young kid in the Giants locker room when I was playing with the Giants. His dad, Phil Sims, a quarterback, and obviously Chris Sims makes a heads-up play here. The ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Look at Chris Sims. He's going to come over, and you think, hey, I can grab this ball and make a play, but no, I'm a quarterback. I'm not a runner. I need to knock that ball down, and more importantly, doesn't allow the interception.
That ball was nearly thrown behind him, which would have made it a lateral and a live football. Not ruled as such. And here's Sims in his action today for 134 yards of offense. 2nd down and 10 for the Longhorns. Roy Williams steps out of bounds, getting away from Terrence Robinson, the defender.
Roy Williams is a receiver a lot like Rashawn Woods. Those two are 2 of the best in the conference, probably 2 of the best in the country, hands down. When he catches a football, both of those guys, when either one of them catch the football, you're thinking, hey, something explosive is going to happen, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, Williams a couple of inches taller, probably excels at that ball that is almost over his head. He can get his body in about any position to catch the football. 3rd down and 6, and of course Woods known for the great leaping ability in the jump ball situations. Here's Sims. Completes it to Williams. And one thing this fella knows, it is the end zone, as he is Texas' all-time touchdown receiving leader with 18. And you saw him quickly turn after the grab here.
Well, watch. He's going to push up and turn out, and Chris Sims sticks it. Watch what I say. He sticks it to the outside, throws away from the defender, and Roy Williams with a good hand pulls it down and breaks the tackle to make more yardage.
And his third grab, 32 yards. Roy, a junior from Odessa, out of Permian High School. 1st and 10 for the Horns. Looking for Williams on a jump ball type situation, and Massey back there covering on the play.
Well, you're in this situation again. Last time they came down here knocking on the door, they decided on 1st down, go keep throwing it, keep throwing it, keep throwing it. Greg Davis is wanting to stay in this 5-receiver package. I tell you, it makes it more difficult to throw the ball down here because there's not as much field to cover for the defense.
And Greg Davis also told us he didn't want to throw the football 50 times today. They've thrown it 24.
Well, then here you see you bring in big fullback Trissel, and now you got Cedric Benson in the football game. So now they're in a 2nd and long situation. I think they're probably thinking, run the football, give us some yardage here, so it's not a 3rd and long situation.
2nd down and 10. And Benson, another guy who has a nose for the end zone and follows those big fellas up front as Benson gets down inside the 7-yard.
Derek Dockery, number 76, watch him come around here to turn the corner. Cedric Benson comes down inside and got good body lane. That's what he does real well. Big sophomore here getting good positive yardage, and good job that time getting inside the back to the 6-yard line.
3rd down and 4. Needs to get to the 2. Roy Williams, nearly a great one-hand grab. Rickland, Holmes, Miller covering in the play.
Well, defensive backs are taught to put your hands up when the receiver puts his hands up. Roy Williams is not going to put it up at all. Chris Sims sees him to the outside and throws it. Roy Williams, watch me, has his hands down to the last minute and tries to make a one-handed grab. Actually, I think that the coverage actually has his left hand. Maybe he can't get it up. Take a look here. The ball is there. You've got one hand on the football, and maybe the Cowboy defender. Who's that, Bill?
Rickland, Holmes, Miller.
Yeah, Holmes Miller does a good job there tangling him up, and doesn't allow him to get the second hand on the football.
Mangum comes on to try to give Texas the lead. It is a 25-yard, 24-yard, and a bad snap here, and they don't get this one. So Texas troubles in the kicking game.
Well, Bo Trahan, the holder, grabs the ball off the ground and puts it on the tee, and I'm not sure what went on with his kick here. Mangum does a good job of kicking the ball, but it just stays right. Take a look here. The ball's going to skip. Actually, he drops it. He puts it down on the ground himself. Trahan is the one who missed it. That little bit of rhythm upsets the rhythm of the kicker, and coming through there, and he leaves it out to the right side.
That Trahan, really that ball was in pretty good position as far as he received it. He had trouble making the grip.
And you take a look here, and you see the flight of the football. It stays right the whole time. It's on the right hash mark. That's a slight adjustment the kicker has to make. Trahan, he did drop the ball, but he got it down in plenty of time.
Big break for Oklahoma State. They keep it on the ground here. 152. Reed Boyd makes the tackle. And talking to Les Miles earlier this week, he was saying that we're certainly going to do everything we can, but our big objective, let's get to the fourth quarter and see if we're in the football game. We got a chance to win one here. So they may be a little conservative here at the end of the quarter.
Wouldn't surprise me for them to come down here and try to just run out the clock here in the second quarter and do a good job with their offensive, just taking some time off the clock. Don't give Texas another opportunity.
2nd down and 8. Whistle before the play developed. If you're timeouts remaining, Oklahoma State has used its timeout, so that's the other part. If they were thinking of trying to put together a last-minute drive, that'd be difficult. Texas does have 2.
Prior to the snap, ball start offense, 5 yards.
They may use them here in order to get one more opportunity in.
Well, if they stop them on this down, it might be a smart thing to do is call a timeout. You've got them to your advantage, and you've got a great punt returner, Nathan Vasher, and that guy can make something happen anytime he has his hands on the football.
2nd and 12. The ball on the 13 for Oklahoma State. Josh Fields takes the snap, and it is complete out of the backfield as Davis Bryant, the receiver, Michael Huff, knocks him out of bounds with 1:07 to go. It's going to be 3rd long, though, for Oklahoma State.
Terrence Davis is the slot receiver for the Cowboys and does a good job here of catching the football. I think he should just keep using his speed. Terrence Davis, you're fast enough to get around the corner. He tries to slow down and make a big play here. Josh Fields throws it. You see the lineman release him down in front. Take it to the corner, go around, but he's trying to cut back. And good job that time by Texas on defense.
OSU 0 of 5 in third down conversions, and they try to hurry up play here. It does not work, and Texas will call a timeout with 1:01 to go.
Well, great job that time by the Longhorns, rising to the occasion. Third and long situation. Cowboys, you know they're probably going to run the ball there. Don't do anything stupid. I'm surprised they called that play. That was kind of a misdirection toss. A lot of offensive coordinators say, hey, I'd much rather hand the ball off than toss it in a tight situation. They've got that misdirection toss there, and the Longhorn defense did a nice job.
Well, if the Cowboys need more confidence, we showed you the Oklahoma flashback last year when they beat a ranked team. Last time they beat Texas was in 1997. Quarterback Tony Lindsay, a key figure in that game. His brother Gabe is on the team now as Tony took it to the house, and Texas winning in Stillwater 42-16. Oklahoma State, I should say, winning, and Oklahoma State has since lost the last 4.
Yeah, Tony Lindsay had some wheels, didn't he? Take a look here at the series history, what these last 4 games of these two teams have done, and Texas won them all, obviously. And look at the total yards per game, 472 per game for the Longhorns in those contests. A little bit different today. This Oklahoma State team is playing them neck and neck.
Oklahoma State, the last 4 possessions have been 3 and out for the Cowboys after they were impressive in the first quarter. And now a 4th and 9. The ball, and it scoots back to the punter. Farden gets it off. Fair catch. And Vasher had trouble on the receiving end as we are around high noon sun-wise here. Glad to have you with us here in Austin at Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium as the Texas Longhorns and the Oklahoma State Cowboys in a game that I think most expected to be offensive. Well, it's been defense. Bill and Gary Reasons and Jim Knox with you as we've seen a pair of field goals, one by Phillips from Oklahoma State in the first period and one from Mangum in the second. He has missed 2 today.
Well, a lot of people wanted to ask, well, how would the Longhorns react when they come up with a pretty tough and stingy defense? The Cowboys have done a good job here. They've forced the Longhorns to punt in situations, and they've done a good job when they're knocking on their door.
1st and 10. Sims. Complete to Johnson. Johnson still on the move and out of bounds. That'll stop the clock and a penalty flag. That may be another 15 as Holmes, Miller, Ricklin made the stop. And Texas, with 46 seconds to go, doesn't have to use a timeout either.
Smart play by Chris Sims. Take what the defense gives you. Got B.J. Johnson in the slot at the top of the field.
Personal foul. Defense, 15 yards. First down.
We see B.J. here is going to come up and run underneath. This is what you call a smash route. Do a good job coming behind the linebackers. Chris Sims delivers. And here out of bounds, not a smart play by the Cowboys. He's already run out there, and this is a tackle out of bounds. Outside, you see the line judge right there, and he's right there on top of it. An extra 15 for the Longhorns.
Yeah, what was already a 20-yard play becomes a 35-yard gain. 1st and 10 at the 24 for Texas. Again, a chance to take the lead. Sims with a long count. Empty backfield. Drills it across the middle, and it is complete to B.J. Johnson. Fata Carter makes the tackle. Out of El Reno, Oklahoma. Clock stops as they move the chains.
Well, the Cowboy defense only rushing 3 on that, trying to sell out in coverage, putting 8 in coverage, but B.J. Johnson nicely comes underneath for the grab.
No huddle. Sims to Roy Williams. Looking for an opening. Does not get out of bounds. And as a result, Massey makes the tackle, and they'll take a timeout with 25 seconds to go.
Well, Roy Williams could have run out of bounds, but he sees Sloan Thomas, #1, trying to make a play and blocking for him. He's got that wide receiver screen, and Matt Brown told us, hey, I want our wide receivers to block. You're going to see Sloan Thomas, #1, come in and make a block, and he thinks, hey, I can beat this guy. That's the attitude of Roy Williams. I can go through him to the end zone. You know, that's just his machismo coming out, so to speak, saying, hey, I can make a play against this guy. Unfortunately, just didn't get it done.
Well, and he's your career touchdown receiving leader. You really don't expect any less, but at that time, probably made a bit of a mistake. But still, Texas, 25 seconds to go. It is a 2nd down and 7 now, and they are out of timeouts.
Well, they've got 2 opportunities here, 2nd and 3rd down, to throw the ball down there. possibly get it into the end zone, or at least they'll be set up for a short field goal. But their field goal game has not been perfect today, Bill, obviously with the 2 misses early in this football game. And you want to get down and you want to punch it in more for anything, for confidence for the Longhorns, ranked number 2 in the nation. You know, not putting a lot up on the board here in this first half.
Don't forget, coming up at the half, Sonic Halftime Report, Bill Jones in the Fox Sports Net College Football Studio. Bring you up to date on what's going on in college football today, as well as looking ahead to another Big 12 game that'll be of interest, Oklahoma and Missouri tonight from Columbia. That could be a dandy. Boy, you talk about a youngster that you're going to enjoy watching. Brad Smith, redshirt freshman quarterback in Missouri, makes them kind of scary to anybody that shows up. 2nd down and 7. The ball on the 9. So they could get a first down without scoring here. Edwards checks in as a tight end. Benson sprints out. Sims to throw. B.J. Johnson at the 5. Did he get in? He's got the first down. He's got the touchdown. Let's see. Yes. Flags thrown, but that was the face mask. And B.J. Johnson got that ball over the plane and into the end zone.
Touchdown's good. Personal foul. Face mask. Penalty will either be assessed on the extra point or kickoff.
So with 17 seconds remaining, B.J. Johnson, the touchdown reception from Chris Sims, as Sims gets his 10th TD toss of the year, and Johnson comes up with his first TD reception. Last year he had 4. He is having a huge day here. He and Thomas carrying the receiving load. Now the point after. Pay attention, the kicking game's been an adventure for the Longhorns. Mangum hits this one.
Well, Bill, this play almost didn't happen. Chris Sims brings his big tight end, Brock Edwards, into the football game to have 11 guys out there. He's on the bottom on the right side. You take a look at B.J. Johnson in the slot. Chris Sims just going to roll and get it to him. And watch the effort here by B.J. Johnson going around the corner and trying to get into the end zone. Hey, that's pushing through it. Hey, just hang it out over the goal line. You got the side judge there right in position. Good stiff arm there trying to make separation. B.J. Johnson there, and you see the face mask penalty, and Chris Sims obviously happy about the effort by his receiver. Got a score here late in the first half. That's the thing we were talking about, Bill. The Cowboys didn't want this to happen. You know, they wanted to get a good punt, a good situation. If they had gotten a first down on that last drive they had, this may not have happened. But the Longhorns, hey, they race right back, big plays down the field, throwing the football, and they put one up on the board.
Well, and really the biggest might have been the first, where they had the 20-yard pass and then the 15-yard penalty that took them down. That was to Johnson, and then Johnson getting the TD pass as well on a 9-yarder, and Sims having a great drive, 4-4 for 44 yards. So Texas battles its way to the lead, and let's see what they do in the kickoff with 17 seconds to go. Out of the end zone by Richmond McGee, and Oklahoma State will get it 1st and 10 on its 20-yard line.
Well, the Longhorns here, Bill, get up 10-3, and their offense brought the ball down the field. That's what you have to do in that situation. You get the punt, hey, you just turn it into points. That's exactly what you have to do. Go out there and make plays. He's got wide receivers that are catching the ball and making plays after the catch. Chris Sims is obviously on target today, doing a good job delivering the ball, distributing it to his receivers. Roy Williams has got in the act. Sloan Thomas has got in the act. And obviously B.J. Johnson there making a play. And this wide receiver core for the Longhorns is very talented. It's considered one of the best in the country.
And Fields and crew will down the football and take it into the locker room, down 7. The Pokes had the early lead. Sims and crew took a while to get on track, but they lead it here 10-3. Let's go down to Jim Knox with head coach Mack Brown of Texas.
All right, thank you, Bill. Coach, you got to be pleased. The defense keeping Josh Fields and company in check. Offense moving the ball, having trouble getting in the end zone, except right before half. That gives you guys a big lift.
Well, Jim, it does. And Oklahoma State's a good football team. They've got a lot of confidence coming into this ball game, and we knew they'd play as hard as they could. We bunched them up a little bit early. We had some success in the running game, but we felt like by spreading them out, make them pass rush, getting pretty hot in Austin this afternoon. So we figure it'll be a fourth quarter quarter game anyway. Really proud of the defense responding in the second quarter with about 3 or 4 3-and-outs. We've missed a block punt. We've missed a bad snap. We've missed 2 field goals. It's not an easy day for us, so we got to keep playing hard because Oklahoma State's a good team.
Best of luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you, Jim.
Bill?
Thanks, Jim. Thanks to Coach Brown. Halftime here with the score Texas 10, OSU 3. When we return, we'll join Bill Jones for the Sonic Halftime Report. Welcome back to Austin and University of Texas as we are at Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. Halftime and the Longhorns with a 10-3 lead. It has been anything but easy. Welcome back, everyone. Bill Land and Gary Reasons. The Horns have certainly had to earn their way today.
Well, they moved the ball pretty well in the first half. But really, they missed opportunities, Bill. A couple of field goal chances to get on the board. And obviously, things haven't gone well. They tried to run the ball early in this football game with Cedric Benson, and they did get field position. Take a look at Dusty Mangum here missing a field goal opportunity in the first quarter, a 37-yard attempt into the wind. But the second opportunity, Bo Trahan drops the ball and really just misses a chip shot here. Dusty Mangum having his troubles in the field goal game. And Chris Sims throws one to Roy Williams, Mr. Dependable in the end zone, does not make the grab. An opportunity for a touchdown, and Texas just hasn't capitalized.
Yeah, you see that, and then you realize when we show you the halftime stats that Texas is dominating in that category, but not in the most important one, which, of course, is the score. Let's take a look at the other numbers. And Texas holding Oklahoma State to 83 yards of total offense.
Well, real dominant here for total yardage for the Longhorns, obviously winning that game. But look at 3 first downs for Oklahoma State and 17 for Texas. They came out with that spread offense with 5 wide receivers, got a lot of first downs, a lot of production. They took control of this football game in the second quarter, and they're winning the time of possession game.
Richmond McGee set to kick it off here for the University of Texas with a 10-3 halftime lead as we start the third quarter. Massey among the deep men again for Oklahoma State. And Chris will down it there, and it'll be 1st and 10 Cowboys from their own 20-yard line. And Josh Fields, the sophomore quarterback making his 5th career start, will bring him out here for the start of the second half. And let's take a look at what he has done so far, as Fields in the passing game 7 of 13 for 48 yards. Hasn't had the pick, but this Texas defense has been, as billed, extremely difficult.
And Rashawn Woods has not gotten into the flow of the offense. Only 2 grabs for 25 yards. They need to work the ball to Rashawn Woods. He's their big play threat in this offense.
Fields. And the ball bobbled by Davis Bryant, as a little bit behind him, Austin Sendline. They're covering, and it'll be 2nd now and 10. And Oklahoma State really needs to come out and, like they did to start the ball game, at least move the chains a little bit, Gary, and get something going positive.
Well, when Jim Knox talked to Les Miles, he pointed out the penalty situations they've had. Little things, small things, offside penalties, false starts, giving them long situations to get a first down. You can't do that against a good Longhorn defense. You especially can't do it back up.
Cowboys only had 30 yards of total offense in the second quarter. And a new tailback, Tatum Bell, gets the same results. Hit hard after a gain of a yard or 2, as Cedric Griffin was there to make the tackle, and he was fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 10 now, and Cowboys yet to convert on a 3rd down. They are 0 of 6 in the first half in 3rd down situations.
Well, they've got to get better production on 1st and 2nd down to get into 3rd manageable. Going 3rd and 10 here against this Longhorn defense, which has a lot of speed and a lot of talent. That is going to be an insurmountable task for this Oklahoma State offense.
Lewis to the left, Davis Bryant, and Lewis to the right, I should say. Woods, the receiver to the left, makes the grab, but he is short of the first down by about a yard, and Babers there to cover on the play.
Well, Rashawn Woods has got isolation coverage here on the outside. He is going to be at the bottom of the screen for the Cowboys. He's down to the right. Josh Fields has good protection, looks right. He's going to come down to Rashawn Woods on the outside, who should really push up and get past the first down marker and come back. Rod Babers in good close coverage and keeps him short of the first down.
Last year, Woods in the game against Texas, 8 receptions, 81 yards, similar. They kept him in front. They haven't let him get anything big. He did have the 1 touchdown last year, but today they have not lost sight of him. 4th and 2, and they'll have to punt it away as Farden gives the boot. Vasher
Yeah, a little trouble there with the sun, obviously. He's looking right up in it, and Vasher smartly runs away from it so he doesn't even have a ball bounce up and hit him.
Let's go down now to Jim Knox.
Okay, real quick, Bill, talked to Les Miles, the Oklahoma State head coach, and he said he's pleased on how the defense played in the first half. Something he wasn't pleased about, so many penalties, like 8. He says they got to cut that out here in the second half for them the chance to pull off the upset.
50-yard punt, so they at least get the field position advantage back as Oklahoma State starting on its 20, and now Texas will start actually on its 22. 1st and 10 for the Longhorns. Again, the empty backfield. Spread offense. Sims batted up in the air and knocked away. I think Llewellyn Brown got a hand on it.
And the big defensive end does a good job. Get his hands up there. It's a couple of balls have been knocked down here by the Cowboys defensive line. Well coached there. Bill Clay, the defense coordinator, longtime coordinator around the country, been in a lot of spots, and he's got this Cowboy defense learning, hey, when you rush the quarterback and it's a short set drive, go ahead and get your hands up and try to knock one away, and the Cowboys have got a couple.
2nd and 10. Incomplete and intercepted, Oklahoma State. And down inside the 20-yard line as the Cowboys come up with the pickoff by Pinson. Lawrence Pinson, a freshman from Jenks, Oklahoma. And Oklahoma State gets the first big turnover here. We had some near interceptions in the first half. They claim this one, and now a chance to tie it up.
Well, Pinson from Jenks, he knows about playing in big games. He won 4 state championships in high school. Good job by the linebacker being opportunistic. The ball's going to be thrown on time, and he just tipped, and it goes right to him. And Pinson does a nice job of making the catch and getting some positive yards here. And the Cowboys are knocking on the door now.
OSU coaches said they really like the work of the freshman from Jenks. Want to ease him into play. Well, he makes a big play here. They're earning more time. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys, down 10-3. Shaw with a penalty holding things up.
Yeah, it's probably before the snap. Going to have a motion penalty against the offense. Stopped it here. Those are the things that Les Miles was talking about with Jim Knox. I'm talking about penalties. You can't self-destruct here and give yourself a long field. You're down there at the inside the 20-yard line.
False start offense. 5 yards. Replay 1st down.
Wow, you have a big play and an interception, and you're down there doing those good positive things you want, and all of a sudden, bingo, you have an interception, which is a mental mistake. Excuse me, a false start. Resetting the game clock here.
Yeah, and if you're Les Miles, you're thinking, all right, we're going to get so many opportunities. Well, on this opportunity, you're thinking, we get 7, we tie the game up. You know, now your thinking almost comes back again to, okay, we got to get at least 3 out of this situation. 1st and 15 now, the ball from the 24. It would be a 41-yard field goal attempt if they can't get anything going. Shaw battles his way back to the 20, and McClintock makes the tackle there. He is a junior from here in Austin. McClintock out of Westwood.
Yeah, just bouncing it inside there. Cowboys just trying to get something positive on 1st down. That's not a bad thing to do. Seymour Shaw on there at tailback, and they're rotating the tailbacks in for this Cowboy offense. Talked about have 3 of them go in there today for him, and there's a new one in there right now.
And the pass coming back, it's going to be picked off by Texas as the Longhorns come up with the interception. And exchange of turnovers, Derek Johnson with the INT. An 18-yard return.
Well, we talked about a new tailback in there. Greg Jones comes into the tailback spot, number 10 for the Cowboys. Going to be a pitch to him and going to throw it back to the quarterback. Good job that time by the defense of the Longhorns, not allowing the quarterback, Josh Fields, to make room here. Watch Fields come around. He's covered right there, bingo. Now, look at Derek Johnson's speed, number 11 from the line of his linebacker spot. Good job of covering some ground, makes a nice interception. Hey, and the Longhorns, they turned away the opportunity for the Cowboys.
Well scouted as Johnson comes up with the big play in return. So back-to-back picks. And now Texas gets the 1st down carry from Cedric Benson. And Antonio Smith makes the tackle at the 30-yard line.
Now Greg Davis decides, okay, no more 5 wide receivers. Let's put my big bunch in there, get Cedric Benson back in the football game. I talked about getting him an opportunity to do some things today. 25 touches or more is really a constant He needs to be in there getting those opportunities to run the football or catch the football out of the backfield.
After no turnovers in the first half, we get back-to-back turnovers to start the second half. Now 2nd and 8. Benson. As Williams is there to make the tackle. Let's go down to Jim Knox quickly. Jim.
Oh, sorry. Tell you what, I was listening to Derek Johnson on the bench. He hit the bench at that interception, and some of the players were saying, hey, you should have hit the sidelines. Why take it in the midfield? You could have scored hitting the sidelines.
There were big guys on the sidelines. There were tackles, there were offensive tackles. He's smart, run away from those big guys.
Tell you what, he can run away from a lot of people. That young man can fly. 3rd down and 6 at the 32 of the Longhorns. Trips right, 2 to the left. Sims to B.J. Johnson. And Johnson at the 40-yard line, tackled by Elbert Craig.
Well, this is something that Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy, their offense coordinator, saying, hey, what did I do here? Why did I call this play? In a big situation, throw it back to my quarterback. Everything else is working okay, and this is one probably would like to have back as a play call because it obviously negates an opportunity. And Derek Johnson, he's run down the sidelines. Let's see if there's some big guys down there. I saw some tackles down there. And Derek Johnson wants to have. Hey, good move there on one big guy. And this Big Ugly's trying to make some tackles.
1st and 10 from the 40 after the pass to Johnson, and Johnson 6 receptions, 71 yards. Benson rolls forward for a couple, stopped by Kevin Williams. B.J. Johnson has matched his season output in this game. He had 6 for 68 coming in. He's got 6 for 71 today. Sloan Thomas also 6 receptions for Texas. Roy Williams has 4. As the guy that has really been playing very well is Chris Sims. He had the pick off earlier, but 18 of 32 for 184 yards and the 1 touchdown.
Well, the thing that set him apart in the second quarter, Bill, was going to that spread option offense. He did a very good job of distributing the football then, and he stayed hot here in the second half.
2nd and 8, handoff to Benson. Stuffed after a yard or 2, and Duran is there.
Well, it's not easy sledding against this Cowboy defense. They do a good job inside at times. And I talked about the offensive line for the Texas Longhorns in the first half. Turning it off and turning it on. They need to keep the consistency up offensively, running the football, be able to pound it. Now you're in a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 situation. You'd like to be in a 3rd and 3 situation. Give your offense a better opportunity to convert.
3rd and 7 at the 43. Johnson, Shanahan, and Jeffrey wide left. Thomas wide right for Texas. Sims nearly drilled it. It was knocked away, intended for B.J. Johnson, and Craig was there, and they'll have to kick it away.
Now, Craig does a nice job of coming downhill. What I mean by that is he's at his safety position. He's got man coverage inside, and Elbert does a good job of breaking up a pass. Chris Sims trying to throw it down and inside away from the defender, but he makes a great break on the ball and knocks it away.
Oklahoma State down 7. 2nd-ranked Texas with a 10-3 lead. Change of turnovers, and now a change of possession coming up with the punter, Bradford, on for the Longhorns.
Terrence Davis Bryant back for the Cowboys punt returner. He's a dangerous returner.
Davis Bryant will field it. And nice return as he brings it out across the 30-yard line to the 31 and even further. We'll be back with more in a moment. It's 10-3 Texas here in the 3rd.
Where's Tommy?
On 1st down. Now that's what you want, Mike Gundy. Now you've got a 2nd and 4 situation. Now's the time you want to use something creative if you want to. Kind of a throwaway down because you know you've got at least a 3rd and manageable situation.
Mike Gundy, the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma State, and of course one-time quarterback back there when they had their own set of triplets with Hartley Dykes, who's Woods is closing in on all his records, as well as of course Barry Sanders back in the heydays of the Cowboys. And the pass is complete for the 1st down, and Jawan Woods comes up with it as Jawan Woods, the younger brother of Rashawn. Michael Huff makes the tackle, And he is 6'2", 175, and like his brother, went to Millwood High School in Oklahoma City, and they really like this youngster, too.
Yeah, he is an explosive player as well. DeJuan Woods, just a freshman, doing a good job. Brought him in on the play before and lined up next to his brother, who's a slot formation. Brother and brother on the same field for the Cowboys. Pretty impressive duo there, and there's going to be a bright future, I think, for DeJuan Woods.
DeJuan's second reception of the year. 1st and 10 for OSU. Nothing doing in the running game as Derek Johnson makes the tackle. Well, Texas, their run defense only allowing 95 yards a game, 4th in the league, 17th in the country, and held North Texas to 55 yards, their season best. Well, today, Oklahoma State up to date in the rushing game, 45 yards on 16 carries.
But they've got to be able to run the ball a little bit, Bill, to set up easier plays on second down and third down where they're manageable. Here it's 2nd down and 10, and it's a tough situation to be in.
Fields rolls out on 2nd and 10. Incomplete. Intended receiver Lewis. John, a senior from Port Arthur, Texas. Derek Johnson covering.
Yeah, Derek Johnson almost had his second interception coming from his linebacker spot. He slides out to the weak flat coverage, and Josh Fields rolls out. You're going to see Josh roll here. Watch number 11 get out there. Watch his speed. He's just going following the quarterback. And tell you, if he's busting his hump, he'd have another ball. That'd been an interception and a big play for the Longhorns.
3rd and 10 for Oklahoma State as they try to break the goose egg. They are 0 of 7 in third down conversions. You think of that, it's pretty amazing that they are still just a touchdown away from tying this football game. At the 49. Fields lofts it up and knocked away. Intended Rashawn Woods. Vasher was there.
Yeah, I think Vasher's healthy now, Bill. That ankle problem that he had a few weeks ago is actually taken away. No problem here covering on the outside. Josh Fields looking to the left and just going ISO coverage here, but take a look at Vasher's position. Inside there, takes it away. Actually probably could have made the catch here. Rashawn Woods never had a chance to even go up for the ball. They want Josh Fields to throw the ball up high, and Nathan Vasher does a good job in coverage.
Now Vasher will stay on for the punt return. Vasher averaging 24 yards per punt return.
Did you say 24 yards, Bill?
Yeah, punt return, not kickoff return.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
Punt return yards, 24 yards per attempt. That is tremendous.
Farden back to punt. He stands on his own 33. And the clock ran out, play clock, so a delay of game will be put against Oklahoma State.
And actually, I think this plays in the favor of the Longhorns now because he's not going to be in that danger zone. Well, do I catch it to the 10-yard line, or do I not going to be there? He'll probably move up around the 15-yard. Nathan Vasher will to return this punt and won't have to worry about, well, should I catch it and return it? Now, he does have the sun in his face. When we tried to return a punt earlier, he just ran away from it because he could not see the football.
Yeah, it does take a little of the judgment process out of it. They come on hard on the rush, and he waits for a catch it again. He never saw it as he got away from it, and it rolls into the end zone. So that certainly is a factor in this special teams game as well. Texas hold on to a 10-3 third quarter lead.
1 in 6 people in America.
Second and long coming up for Texas. Sims today, 18 of 33, 184 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 INT.
Now, he's played pretty heads-up football, distributing the ball, not making mistakes. The ball that was intercepted was tipped. So I'm not sure that's really his fault. But so Chris Sims, I think, has played a pretty good football game.
2nd and 10, the ball on the Texas 20-yard line. Sims found a man. It is Sloan Thomas. Thomas at the 40. And Thomas breaks it down to the 25-yard line. Sloan Thomas, a 55-yard reception. His 7th of the game. That is a career high. And Texas looking to score again.
Sloan Thomas from Klein High School outside of Houston, Texas, shows that he's got speed. 4-4 in the 40. Chris Sims delivers a strike, and watch the inside move and run away from the defense. Sloan Thomas brings it down to the middle of the field. Good job that time by the Cowboys of catching up to him, and otherwise they're going to have a big score here. Sloan Thomas has picked up his game today, Bill, and he has shown up big time.
At 55 yards, matches his longest reception in his career as well. Back to the ground, and Cedric Benson for the first down carry, tackled by Paul Duran. Now for Dr. Pepper. Game break. Let's go to our Fox Sports Net studio with Bill Jones. All right, thank you, Bill. Yeah, you got the Heisman contenders there, Eli Manning, Ole Miss, and of course with Florida. And watch out here, Williams.
They're calling it a fumble. The referee threw a beanbag down, which means it is a fumble. They're going to call that a catch. Roy Williams comes back for the football.
We're seeing the signal from the Oklahoma State bench, but not from the officials.
Maybe as Robbie Doan, number 71, the left tackle, swings out there and maybe gets on the football. Roy Jones, a little slip screen coming back to him. Take a look here at the top. You got Roy Williams. He's going to run up and come back. Chris Sims throws it to him. He grabs the ball, comes back. You see the forced fumble. The referee throws the beanbag in there, so it is a fumble, but Robbie Doan does a nice job. Number 71, watch him come through and pick up the trash here. Good job by Robbie Doan, heads up. Doesn't get to the block that he needs to make, but he gets the football for the Longhorns.
Kareem Smith was the one he was trying to beat on that little scrum for the football. 3rd down and 15 for Texas. Boy, both teams missing, having big plays, and then missing in great opportunity situations. And now,
that's the 3rd delay of game for the Longhorns today. Communication has not been what I think crisp for this Longhorn offense. Few things not going right for them. Personnel substitutions have not gone well for them. You know, a couple of times they were out there, and Chris Sims brought a guy in so they'd have an opportunity for that touchdown play in the first half with B.J. Johnson. Otherwise, they'd have had 10 guys out there for that one. So things are not crisp for the Texas Longhorn offense.
So 3rd and 20 now. The line of scrimmage, the 35-yard line. And Sims looking to air it out again. Just got it loose, complete. And Trissel, or the Trahan, takes it down inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. I beg your pardon, Thomas, the tight end.
Yeah, David Thomas does a nice job coming up there. He's got coverage man-to-man. Paul Duran, the linebacker, is going to have him, and he's actually holding him the entire route. David Thomas works up across the field. He's going to come up here and work on him, and you're going to see the coverage. He's going to break away to the middle of the field. Chris Sims wait for the separation, throws a strike to him, but before that there was a penalty, and they're obviously going to take the play because it's more yardage.
Well, offensive coordinator Greg Davis talked to us about the play of his tight ends, and with Bo Scaife out with an injury in the preseason, Stevens and Edwards, and then David Thomas coming alive last week against Tulane. Huge reception here for Thomas, and now 1st and 10. Longhorns at the 13. Trissel in the backfield with Benson. And Benson, good hole as he rumbles down to the 6-yard line. Picks up 7+, and Beck there to make the tackle for the Cowboys.
Well, that's power football. That's what I think the Longhorns need to do inside the 10-yard line. You have a chance to run your big back, Cedric Benson in the hole, run an ISO play, get Matt Trissel, your big fullback, through the hole and see if he can make a block for you, and he actually did on that play. Pancake the linebacker, allowing Cedric Benson to get a good yardage down 1st down. Take a look here inside. Cedric Benson, everything is cleared out there because the right side of the line did their job, and the big fullback took a nice block.
2nd and 3. Benson dances a bit, has the 1st down, and Llewellyn Brown is there to make the tackle. So no spread offense this time down there.
Well, that's a mentality that you have to have offensively. Same play, right side a minute ago, same play on the left side here. Power football, get your tailback the ball deep, give them some vision, and get the big guys up front making blocks. Cedric Benson now, pushing it up there, 19 carries, 65 yards today, and more importantly now, the Longhorns have an opportunity to convert very easily, just running the football when they're down close.
1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Benson has scored in 8 straight games on the ground. Let's see if it becomes 9. Gets the call. Brought down from behind, didn't get the push, and McGee came up from the linebacker spot to slip in and get the tackle.
That's a nice play by Padgett McGee, the freshman from Tyler, Texas, coming on the backside, a linebacker coming down the line of scrimmage and making a play. That's pretty good pursuit by that player.
So 2nd and goal from the 1 after a pickup of 1. Benson's 20th carry of the day. 2:39 and counting here in the 3rd period. Oklahoma State led 3-0. Texas tied it 5:50 in the 2nd. Took the lead with 17 seconds to go before the half, and now trying to add on. Sims, touchdown. And a flag is thrown, though. on the near side in the end zone.
Offside defense. The penalties decline. Touchdown.
Count it. Chris Sims with a TD, his second of the year. And Texas opens up a 16-3 lead.
Well, Chris Sims on this drive, excellent job of running this offense, throwing the football to Sloan Thomas, who makes a big play to get them in the scoring zone. Then Chris Sims just takes it over the top from his quarterback spot on the quarterback sneak. Good job by the Longhorns when they got in close, Bill, running the football and getting the touchdown.
Mangum, who has struggled in the field goal category, not in the PAT category, hits here, and he's now 23 of 23 on the year as Sims scores the TD, and Texas now up by 2 touchdowns, 17-3. Kickoff coming up. Texas Longhorns, after a 10-3 halftime lead, get on the board with a touchdown from Chris Sims. Bill and Gary Reasons and Jim Knox as Richmond McGee kicks this one off. Massey from the goal line takes it back for the Pokes. And Massey straight ahead across the 20 to the 23-yard line. Another look at Chris Sims taking advantage of that big offensive line.
Well,
Gary,
when you want to run that quarterback sneak, you need your big offensive line to get down, get low, and push him out of the way. Good job that time by Flynn. And then your fullback comes in there, Trissel, and just cleans up a little bit over the top. Chris Sims. Hey, the quarterback has to read that. It's not an automatic. You've got to go where you feel that your offensive linemen have given you a chance to get in the end zone. Chris Sims smartly goes behind his left guard.
Well, the Texas defense has really taken over this game as the Longhorn scoring drive took 9 plays and goes 80 yards. And Oklahoma State trying to move the chains for starters on a 1st and 10. And again, a horde of tacklers led by Austin Sendline there on Shaw. Texas has allowed Oklahoma State only 1 first down since 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. And as we hit 2:01, that's 2 periods of just owning the football game.
When you talk about Austin Sendline, just a freshman doing a good job on the defensive end spot. That time on that play, a little misdirection by the offense for the Cowboys, and he does a nice job of taking on the lead blocker and making the play. A lot of talent on this Longhorn defense. A lot of young guys out there. A little surprising that Matt Brown's going with a lot of younger players on his defense this year.
2nd and 9 for Fields and the Cowboys. Looking to throw it to Lewis. It's knocked away. Michael Huff covering from the safety position. And now a flag is thrown. It was late.
Well, I don't think it was on the coverage or actually on the play. I think it was post-play. It's probably going to be a taunting type of a call.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, 15-yard penalty.
Well, Michael Huff does a nice job from his safety spot, coming over the top and makes a nice play, knocking the ball around over. And he gets up, and we'll watch here and see what happens, and steps on him. And
yep,
not a smart play, young man. He's a freshman, a redshirt. You know, not a lot of playing experience playing this year for the first time, but that's something in big games you just cannot do.
You got to learn that in Pee Wee football. You have control of the football game. Your defense is owning it. Your offense is coming alive. And you take them out of a 3rd and long and give them a 1st and 10 at the 40 and give them 1 more shot to get into it.
Well, guess where he's standing? Over there by the coach. He's not even on the field.
1st and 10 at the 40. Let's see if the Cowboys can take advantage of it. Fields to throw. And just incomplete.
Yeah, there's
looking for Badgerman.
Going to be a penalty here. They're going to call it on Lee Jackson, number 23, the linebacker, who makes contact with him about the 45-yard line, I think, and that's what they're going to have here. The ball's a little overthrown and knock Badgerman off his route.
You know, Rashawn Woods has drawn a number of interference penalties this year for first downs, and those stats don't go to his receiving yards.
Defense, 15 yards.
It's kind of interesting. These 2 plays have neither have gone to Woods, one a taunt, and then this the interference.
Well, Josh Fields is thrown out there. You see your tight end here. Here's Lee Jackson right there. Going to bump him. You see the bump, and it knocks him off his route. The side judge throws the penalty in from the outside. Probably a pretty good call there because he probably had the stride, and the throw was on timing, and pretty good throw.
And as a result, Oklahoma State is in Texas territory. 1:21 to go in the 3rd. 1st and 10 at the 45. Woods wide left. Tatum Bell. And Bell. A good run down the sidelines. And did he step out? No! Touchdown! Touchdown, Oklahoma State! Oh, my! It appeared he stepped out, but he did a balancing act and gives 6 to the Pokes.
Excellent job of play calling there. Josh Fields really at the line of scrimmage does what he needs to do. He reads the defense and he checks off this play to Tatum Bell. He actually turns around because the noise is so loud to check this play, and it's a perfect play for the Cowboys. And Tatum Bell shows his speed, and hey, he walks the tightrope down the sideline. Matt Brown saying, hey, there's probably a guy who steps out of bounds, but no, he didn't. He goes all the way down untouched.
Tatum Bell, who's a junior out of DeSoto, Texas, gets the TD, and it's 17-9. Phillips on for the point after. It is blocked. That's a live football. Texas recovers it and down. So that too could be big as it remains an 8-point game. Well, we're seeing it all here in Austin today. 17-9. Texas will be right back.
This play, it's a fake and then pitch out to Tatum Bell around the corner. Watch the sideline tightrope act here that Tatum Bell does. You're going to see Pearson, his safety, comes by and tries to knock him out of bounds. Watch his foot. It's not out of bounds. You see it there. He's inbounds, goes down the sideline, and no one's going to catch him. Tatum Bell got pretty good speed of 4.3, 4.40. Take a look here from this side. You see Pearson. He just does not get to him. Tatum Bell with his speed around the corner. Hey, he's missed a couple of games here the first part of the season, Bill, with an ankle injury. Looks like he's back to full strength. Longest carry of his career, gets the touchdown. Last year, Bell, their leading rusher, 776 yards, was 7th in the Big 12 and had 6 TDs. Here is Sims. Completes it to Johnson. So Texas trying to come right back and answer as Amu makes the tackle on the play. Let's go down to Jim Knox in the sidelines.
Okay, real quick, Bill. Mike Leiner, the head lineman's on that play, said, thank you for replaying that. You know, everybody out here, and I was even standing on the sideline, thought that Tatum Bell definitely stepped out of bounds, but replays clearly showed on the Jumbotron that Mike Leiner made the right call.
Hey, Mike.
Good job. Don't worry, we'll give you enough blame when you deserve it. We'll go ahead and pat you on the back this time. Well, look, you know, most times officials make the right call. It is such a hairline call, but most times they do, Bill. Great job by our Fox Sports Net camera crew as well here to be in the right place. Ball up the middle. Benson on the carry, and the tackle made by Llewellyn Brown. But Gary, you go back to those 2 penalties, particularly the first one, the taunting that was totally unnecessary, gives Oklahoma State new life. It is new life, new opportunity, and then, hey, Oklahoma State converts. Now you take a look at Texas's offense. They come out here on first down, got the little pass to B.J. Johnson, brings up 2nd and short. Now they pound the ball in there. Greg Davis's opportunity to call plays that work. When you're in the 2nd and long or 3rd and long situations, that's not an easy thing to do. 1st and 10 at the 31. Benson, 21 carries, 72 yards as Sims pointing out the defense. Intended for Shanahan. Duran covering on the play. Now they walk up. Chris Sims reads the blitz. Obviously, they're going to try to come and put some pressure on him and throw his timing off, trying to get the ball to Shanahan to the outside. The ball is just overthrown. Never really had a chance to get there. Kyle Shanahan, by the way, the son of Mike Shanahan, the Denver Broncos head coach, and a guy who, when Roy Williams went down, they got so many receivers, they're all just over here salivating. Hey, coach, how about me? And he's had a couple of good games as well, and when Williams went out in that Houston game. 2nd and 10, ball on the 31. Benson ran into his own man and then turns it back the other way. Cedric Benson stiff-arming at the 50 and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Durant Williams makes the tackle, and a flag is thrown near the point of the tackle with probably a face mask. Well, that may be on the offense. Yeah. If you know, you can, as a running back, you can do a stiff arm, and you can put your hand open face inside on the face mask.
Foul, 15 yards.
But you cannot grab the face mask to control the defender. And Cedric Benson, hey, this is a great effort and a great run. Everything is stopped to his left. Hey, he bounces back, almost goes down, but watch his footwork here. And then he watched him shift the ball to his right hand. Then you see Durant here, watch the left hand go out. And what he does, he grabs the face mask, and that's the penalty. He continues on it, and you can't do that as a running back.
a 27-yard run. There's a good look at it.
Yeah, that's the control I'm talking about. You can't hold on to it as a running back.
The fans are seeing the same thing we're seeing on the Jumbotron here and still booing. And I think it's because they're not aware, as you mentioned, Gary. Stiff arm, yes, but you can't grab the mask.
But they've still got a first down because the penalty was from the spot of the foul, which is past the 50-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 42, and the clock mysteriously didn't move at all, and then they took 5 seconds off. So there's 22 seconds now remaining in the period.
And they're going to have a false start on B.J. Johnson at the top of the screen in the slot, number 82 for the Longhorns. A little anxious there. And
boy, sloppy penalties. That'll be the 16th penalty of today's game.
Snap. 5 yards.
The 6th on Texas. Oklahoma State 10 for 75 yards.
And they bring him out of the football game and bring in another receiver. A lot of penalties here. A lot of things gone wrong for Texas and Oklahoma State as well. They miscued. Those things you can't happen when you want to be productive. As we take a look at a Cowboy down on the field, that's their defensive lineman, Kevin Williams, and he's had a pretty good ball game today.
Checking out the knee, never a good sign. Big senior from Fordyce, Arkansas. 1st down and 15 now. Ball on the 37-yard line. Texas with a 17-9 lead here in Austin. Sims shovels it away. Benson, one missed tackle, and then gets back for about 6 yards. Duran makes the tackle, and that should be the end of the period. His clock at 7 seconds and counting, as Cedric Benson will make it a 2nd and 10 when we come back. That is the end of the 3rd quarter with a score. Texas 17, Oklahoma State 9. You're watching the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Game of the Week on Fox Sports Net.
(17-9) lead, so anything can happen here. Got 15 more minutes to play. The Cowboys want to be opportunistic.
Sims back to throw and completes it to Benson, and he did step out of bounds at the 45-yard line. That'll get a chuckle from the fans here in Austin. Benson out of the backfield. We haven't seen much of that today, as Cedric Benson on the reception this time for Texas.
Well, they tried to throw the ball to him 3 times today, Bill. Twice now in the middle of the field trying to get that middle screen going, but that really hasn't materialized for him. Now you see Cedric Benson on the outside. He does step out of bounds. Good job there by the official. He walks right to it, and that's the proper call. Brings up a third and 8 situation.
So Texas holding to an 8-point lead, looking to get a knockout punch as we start the 4th quarter. 3rd and 7. Sims. They brought a man looking for Shanahan, and Sims under pressure as Duran was in his face. Let's take a look at our game summary here as we start this 4th period, and the overthrow to Shanahan with Texas leading 17-9, and Sims has thrown for 1, run for 1. Thomas, a career-high 7 receptions, 130 yards, been a huge factor. Bell comes off the bench today on his 2nd carry to go 45 yards for a TD to get the Pokes back within smelling distance. Then the kick was blocked, though, that made it an 8-point, or kept it at an 8-point game. Bradford, the snap made him move a bit. Low punt. Drives it right at Davis Bryant. He eludes one man at the 10. Doesn't miss those 3. Oh, wow. He was crunched. And that's where they'll take over as McClintock with the big hit. Stay with us on Fox Sports Net.
Roy Williams has not been in the lineup. Remember, he's nursing that strained hamstring. He did play today, but right now he remains on the bench. Now, the word from the Longhorn sideline, the hamstring is fine. But Roy, I did see him hold his hamstring when he was running a route. So right now, obviously, the hamstring is not fine as Roy sits on the bench.
5 receptions, 27 yards for him so far today. Oklahoma State comes out throwing. This one complete to Davis Bryant. And on the 1st and 10 from the 21, he is tackled by Eric Hall, redshirt freshman from Clarksville, Tennessee.
Now, if you're Mike Gundy, the offense coordinator for Oklahoma State, you want to get a first down play that's going to be successful for you. That's a great call to get that out to Terrence Davis and let him run around the corner. Brings up a 2nd and 4 situation. That's what I've been talking about all day for both teams, because when you come up in 3rd and long or 2nd and long, it is tough to operate. A lot of opportunities here, a lot of choices now for Mike Gundy in the play calling game.
2nd down and 4 for the Pokes now. Shaw just looking for a crease. Very close to the first down. Needed to get to the 31. Marcus Tubbs there to make the stop for Texas.
Marcus Tubbs has played pretty well for the Longhorns this year on defense. Had a concussion a couple weeks back. Was held out. Didn't play a lot, but now back in the lineup for Texas. Slides down from his nose tackle or defensive tackle spot to make the play on that gain.
First down, Oklahoma State. They will move those chains. And you know, Texas, if you look at the numbers here, just total domination. You've got plays 73 to 40, rushing yardage 267 or the 121 to 95, passing 267 to 71. Oklahoma State 0 of 8 on 3rd downs. Yet here they sit, 1st and 10, 13:40 to go in the 4th quarter, and they are 8 points away from tying it up. Ball in the 31. Fields in trouble, looking to get out of danger, and does complete. No, out of bounds. So it'll be 2nd and 10. But Fields fortunate to avoid the loss, as Woods, the intended receiver, and Redding, the one that was chasing him out of the pocket, as you take a look at Vasher here.
Well, a little distress for Josh Fields. Take a look at Woods on the outside going against Vasher. Take it down the field, but watch him come back. That's what the thing he has to do when his quarterback's in trouble. But he's too close to the sideline, and it looks like he makes the grab. Can't see if he breaks the ball up or not on that play. Obviously not a catch. Brings up 2nd and 10 now.
Rashawn Woods coming in with 32 catches, 536 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Woods today, 3 catches, 33 yards. 2nd and 10 from the 31. Fields in trouble. Whoa! Wish he hadn't done that.
Well, Vasher and Babers are 2 of the best corners in the country. Hey, they know they're going to throw it to 82, so it's not a big deal. Hey, just go ahead and find that young man. They're going to throw it to him. Little slip screen here. Try to get the ball to Rashawn Woods. You're going to do the slip screen, get your tackle to pull out here. Watch the guard go out, and you got number 3 and 21 on the orange jerseys coming in there and making a play on Rashawn Woods, and they just defeat the blockers. Too much speed. They just run around those big tackles. Derek Johnson putting pressure on the quarterback as well.
And now, looking to be successful for the first time today on 3rd down. It is 3rd and 15 as a loss on that play. Loss of 4. Here's Fields. Throws it up again. And Vasher. He caught this one. Interception, Texas.
Well, Rashawn Woods is wide open on the near sideline, and Josh Fields just throws the ball up, does not have enough mustard on it to get it to him. Hey, big play by the Longhorns. Go up, find the football. Nathan Vasher, number 3, 2 plays in a row. Good job of that. Ball may be deflected at the line of scrimmage. We'll have to take a look here. As you see, Josh Fields gets a little bit under duress, and take a look at number 82. He is wide open down here, folks. Nobody there, and the ball's going to hang inside. Take a look there as Vasher just breaks forward and makes the play. Brian
Pickrell put the heat on him. We'll take another look, I'm sure, and maybe we'll see if he got a piece of that ball. 1st and 10, because you're right, Woods was wide open. Now, Selvin Young. You're thinking, wait a minute, is Vasher going to offense? No, that's the other number 3. As Selvin Young comes in to give Benson a spell here.
Let's take a look at Josh Fields and see if there's actually someone who tips the ball here. He's getting pressure on him and gets set up here. You got Derek Johnson breathing down his neck from the inside. He just throws. I don't really think it's tipped. I just think it's a weak pass. He can't deliver all the way. We talked about his release earlier in the football game. It's kind of unique. Kind of wings it. Now the Longhorns, the big offensive line's taking over.
And Selvin Young, another carry. As Llewellyn Brown makes the stop here. Well, Vasher, INT today. Last year, he picked one off as well against Oklahoma State.
Big play cornerback, big play player here for the Longhorns, no doubt about it. You combine that in the secondary, how he plays and how he plays on special teams in the punt and return game. Tell you, he is a weapon for this football team.
All-conference pick last year, 7 interceptions as he comes up with the INT here today and getting his first of the season as Texas trying to punch one in here. Williams and Robinson make the tackle, this time on Young.
Now, if you want to play defensive tackle, just watch Kevin Williams on this play. He does exactly what you need to do. He puts his hands on his offensive guard, pushes him down, and goes down the line of scrimmage. And Selvin Young's got pretty good wheels, I'm telling you, but Kevin Williams tracked him down. Good to see Kevin Williams back in the game. He was out. Looked like he hurt his leg on the play earlier in the ball game, but good to see him back in there for Oklahoma State.
2nd down and 12 now for Texas at the 30. Young hit hard. McGee. And we talked earlier, Pinson had the interception. He and McGee, a couple of freshman linebackers. This Oklahoma State team has got some talent now.
That's what you call a form tackle. Is that Massey coming in and making that play? Good job that time just going downhill, and you're a back trying to make a play. Now, Selvin Young isn't the biggest guy in the world, but watch number 9 or 8 or 9. Oh, that's Patrick McGee, no doubt. Number 44, good job, good position in there. And going in there, they got a little blitz on. They're taking everything away inside, so Selvin Young reads it out to the next hole, but guess what? Another Cowboy there.
Massey coming in from the backside there. 3rd and 12 now for University of Texas.
Big play for Oklahoma State here on 3rd down.
Yeah, they got to stay in the game. Sims tipped away, nearly picked off, and now you're talking 47-yard field goal or go for it.
Yeah, nothing been really sure here for the field goal game for the Longhorns. Trying to throw the ball up there, and a little high that time. I think Chris Sims missed that one. Ball was up too high. The receiver's wide open, make him go up and catch the football. And good old SEAL number 8 here, Dustin Mayhem, go out there and try to get the ship righted here. Hasn't kicked the ball well at all in the field goal attempts today.
He missed that 37 into the wind. That was at this end. And the 24-yarder was kind of a little bit of a mishandled snap by Trahan. But just the same, did get it down okay. This one is up and is no good. So he misses on the 47-yard attempt. Well, you know, kickers, I don't care who you are or how good you've been, that fragile psyche, you miss one regardless of the reason, and next thing you know, it is a disease, isn't it?
Well, it's a small area that you're trying to hit on that football, and there's, you know, any fraction that you miss on that kick, I tell you, can make it go a long way to the right, to the left, and it's just difficult, you know, for a kicker to hit that. He's just lost his rhythm right now.
Let's go back to our original Texas game plan that we talked about this morning when this one started, and see how they followed through.
Well, we want to get Cedric Benson the ball a lot. We want to get him 25 touches or more. They've got it to him 23 times so far in this ball game. Force Oklahoma State to throw that? No doubt. They've had to throw the ball a lot. They haven't done anything on the ground. And winning the takeaway game, Oklahoma State surprisingly winning that battle right now.
Well, on Oklahoma State, you say they haven't done anything on the ground other than Tatum Bell's 45-yard run. And
that was a big play. But more consistently,
but
they have not been able to run the football against this Longhorn defense.
1st and 10 on the 30. Seymour Shaw. And Shaw still battling. Got the 1st down. Yeah. What an effort by Seymour Shaw.
Little heart that time. Good job running outside the tackle on the left side. Seymour Shaw bounced in there. Looks like the Longhorns are going to wrap him up and get him to the ground, but he shows he's got some ability going through there and get a 1st down for Oklahoma State. That's what they need to have happen for him here, Bill. Get some confidence. Now it's a shorter field. They're at the 42-yard line, and things may be clicking here for Oklahoma State.
He's got 16 carries for 63 yards as Shaw picking up a 1st down there. 1st and 10 at the 42. Nothing doing this time as Brian Pickrell there to stuff him. The Oklahoma State game plan that we discussed in the early going.
Well, we've had to stop Cedric Benson running the ball. The Longhorns have got 131 yards to date, and over the field to the woods. Fields to woods, there's 4 of 10 passing. Only 28 yards, though. Not a big factor in the return yardage here. UT 24 return yards in the football game. Vasher has not been a factor from his punt return spot.
Not in that area. Does have the interception. Now it is 2nd down and 11 for Josh Fields. Out of the shotgun. Dropped by Rashawn Woods. Babers covering.
Now, that's uncharacteristic of Rashawn Woods. He's used to making those catches time in, time out. Going to push Rod Babers up and stop and come back. I like his quickness, ability to stop on a dime and come back. When you've got speed and elusiveness to where they have to contend with you going down the field, you're able to stop and come back to the quarterback. That's a great opportunity for you to make those isolation catches.
Woods, 4 receptions, 29 yards, and yeah, you don't get to where he is with 145 receptions in your career, dropping many of those. Bell in motion, 3rd and 11. Brian Davis with the pass, looking for Lewis, and a flag thrown. Illegal forward pass.
Now, I think we may have a lineman downfield here on the pass. It's a lateral. They're throwing it back, and the lineman may have come downfield. They're sorting it out here with the officials. They may pull this flag up.
Disregard the flag. No foul on the play.
They're on the same headset you are. Glad to see they're listening to somebody.
Well, we got a better view of it up here. Those guys make split decisions down there. I think they're great most of the time.
We've got 30 seconds to screw it up.
Now, here's the situation. You need your punter for Oklahoma State to have one of his best punts of the year. This is where you need to pin the Longhorns down inside of their 10-yard line. If you can do that on this punter inside their 20 with this punt situation, you're going to have great field position to put your defense out there and give the offense a chance to get back after and put points on the board.
Selvin Young is back. Yeah, you're getting down where the clock is becoming a factor with 9 minutes to go.
Too much field for him.
20, and he slipped, and they were there to recover. No flag thrown, so Texas will take over on its own 21. Stay with us. Longhorns leading by 8.
1 in 6 people in America may not.
And crew, 1st and 10 from the 22, and a big stand here for Oklahoma State defensively if they're going to have an opportunity. Sims out of the hands of Trissel. For Dr. Pepper Game Break, let's go to our Fox Sports Net studio with Bill Jones. And a better than maybe expected by some of the Longhorn fans, at least here. Mac Brown said, I've been telling my team all week, this team is too good to take for granted. And Oklahoma State has been tough to the task. Benson had a breather last series, comes back in here and pops it as Elbert Craig makes the tackle. That was a 2nd and 10 call. He picks up 6 or 7.
Good draw play for the Longhorns. Good job getting through there. But that's a big tackle by Elbert Craig. The weak safety, the rover in that defense. Hey, if he doesn't make that tackle, Cedric Benson's going to run that for a big play. But importantly now, I think it brings up a 3rd down situation that the Cowboys on defense really need to win on this play so they get their offense back on the field and force a punting situation.
Chris Sims has thrown a career-high 43 attempts today, and he's matched his career high with 24 completions. 3rd and 4 with no backs behind him. Nearly picked off, and it would have been 6. Elbert Craig. Oh, my, you know what he's thinking.
Well, Elbert come up big the last 2 plays, makes the play on Cedric Benson in the run play on the draw. Now you see him, Edric is going to come inside, almost gets that ball. He's trying to throw it to the back, and good job that time making up, breaking the play, and the safety has come up big today. I think this young man, I talked about at the beginning of the show that he needed to play well today, and he certainly has.
98 tackles a year ago, came in with 2 interceptions into today's game. And Terrence Davis-Bryant is deep again for the kick from Bradford. They kick way away from him and gets a Texas roll. And it takes a Texas turn. It is down at the 1-yard line. 71 yards by Bradford.
Well, that's a neutralizer there. When your punter can punt one 71 yards, that is amazing.
That bettered his 60-yarder against Tulane last week. Cowboys are in a hole. It is complete. Absolutely incredible. Vasher doing all he could. And Gary, we mentioned before we came out of the break, that punt of 71 yards could be the play of the game. Oklahoma State may have just taken that away with that play.
Well, they overcome their field position here with Rashawn Woods on the outside. Josh Fields has thrown this ball 3 or 4 times today to his wide receivers. This is the only ball that he has thrown correctly. Up over the top, let your receiver, athletic receiver, go up, make the grab. Rashawn Woods has done that time and time again for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Makes a big play here in Austin.
1st and 10 after a 25-yard pickup. Shaw looking for a hole, goes outside and breaks into the 30. Shaw bringing him with him. He's at midfield. Lee Jackson makes the tackle. These Cowboys not throwing it in yet.
No doubt about it. Seymour Shaw does his part here. The offense does a good job. They just put hat on hat. The offensive line, they're going to wrap up on the Texas Longhorn defense and make some blocks. Seymour Shaw. Watch number 9, Pearson. Missed the tackle here. Flag him. You can't do that. Seymour Shaw, fake outside, comes back to the inside. Your safeties have to tackle. Dakari Pearson did not make the play.
He picks up 24 or 25. It's at the 49 of Texas. 1st and 10. Tatum Bell. And Bell, who had the 45-yard TD run last touch. Good surge here. Reed Boyd makes the tackle. And what a weird game this has been. About the time you think momentum goes to either side, there's a quick turn the other way.
Well, obviously, a big play receiver. We talked about him at the beginning of the game, Bill, that Rashawn Woods is a game breaker. He's a guy that can change the momentum of a game. Hey, and that catch simply did it. And now the confidence is with the Oklahoma State offense, running the football, doing what they want to do. Now they've got a great opportunity here with 2nd and short.
2nd and 1. Ball at the 40 of the Longhorns. Tatum Bell. Texas trying to regroup as they were on their heels just a bit. That appears to be a 1st down as Lee Jackson, a senior of Longview, Texas, makes the tackle.
Well, Les Miles, let's talk about it. He said, hey, let's stay in it in the 4th quarter. Let's be there in this football game. Down 8 points here, a chance to go in the end zone, put the 2 points up, be a tied ball game, or at least come back late in the football game, put a field goal up to win it. So that's their thinking right now, but they have to take care of business here. They're driving the ball well, and more importantly, they're running it. We talk about their tailbacks, Bill. They've got 3 of them. They've been using 2 of them here today pretty much with Tatum Bell and Seymour Shaw, and they have not disappointed Oklahoma State fans.
1st and 10, ball on the 38-yard line. Fields play action. And incomplete. Corey Redding, the pressure on him.
Hadn't talked a lot about Corey Redding, but he does his job on that play. The defensive end on the left side of the line for the Longhorns gets into the face of the quarterback and makes him throw it off timing. He had receivers open, but he just was not able to complete that pass.
Second and 10 at the 38-yard line. Texas with a 17-9 lead. Oklahoma State with 6:17 to go, trying desperately to get back into this one. Bell slips his way close to the 35-yard line. And Johnson makes the tackle. Down to Jim Knox we go.
All right, Bill, real quick, Corey Redding, you guys were talking about him. Corey has a slogan. He's the team leader on this defense. He says, we sacrifice me for we. He wants a team concept. Right then, when Oklahoma State was picking up some big-time yardage, Corey got on his teammates. We'll see if they respond right here.
Big senior out of Houston, North Shore, Lombardian, Nagurski candidate. 3rd down and 7. Ball on the 35. Oklahoma State still 0 of 10 in 3rd down conversions. Fields launches this one. Woods, and there's a penalty flag.
Josh Fields got hammered on the outside that time. Reed Boyd came in and smacked him, but I think there's going to be a penalty here. Going to be interference against the Longhorn defense on Rashawn Woods. But Josh Fields is down. He got smacked on the backside throwing this football. A blindside shot. I tell you, that is bad news here for this Oklahoma State offense.
Quickly, the doctors and trainer come out to take a look at Josh Fields. Yeah, the flag was thrown down near the 15-yard line, the point of the reception. It is against Texas, as you see the indication there. But the bigger concern right now is quarterback Josh Fields and his physical condition.
Yeah, he was unprotected on this. What I mean by that is he's throwing the ball to this side of the field.
Pass interference. Defense. 15 yards. 1st down.
Josh Fields is going to have someone in his face as he throws the ball, but actually he gets hit from the backside. Take a look here, and here's the pressure. That's going to be Reed Boyd, number 45. Bingo catches him as he turns, and Josh Fields a pretty good hit. Now here's the interference. That's the push off there. They saw Nathan Vasher, number 3, pushing Rashawn Woods as he goes down the field. You can't have contact with him, and Vasher and Woods, they've been going at it all day, and that's what they're calling. Watch that hand right there. That's what they call on the push off, and the official, you see the flag come in there, and that's the penalty call on the field.
Well, we mentioned earlier, Woods 7, 8, 9 times this season has drawn pass interference penalties. He's smart, and he knows how to do it. He feels a little pressure. He's going to add a little acting to it.
Yeah, he's kind of like a basketball player. He's one of those guys gets in there, hey, man-to-man, you're going to cover me. I just get a little separation from you, go up, make the play. That's what he plays. He plays basketball out there on the outside, and I like his athleticism.
Well, you see what's happened this half in penalties in Texas. They had the 2 back-to-back penalties that set up Oklahoma State's only touchdown run by Tatum Bell. Let's go down to Jim Knox real quick for an injury update.
All right, thanks, Bill. As you see right behind me, Josh Fields getting a drink of water. He's going to be okay. They took off his flak jacket, got a good shot in the ribs. He's going to be back on the field right after this play.
Aso Pogai comes on. He is a veteran, a junior from Lawton, Oklahoma. Pogai, who was the starter last year, and a flag is thrown before this play gets underway.
And those are things that happen. Got a new quarterback, different cadence, different things happen at the line of scrimmage. Tell you, this is something you don't want to have happen. False start.
Pogai, junior from Lawton, Oklahoma, last year threw for 1,854 yards, had 11 TDs, 7 interceptions. This year he's thrown for 168 yards and a touchdown, 2 INTs. Also got in a horrific car accident in the offseason, Gary. It's kind of amazing that he is back on the field. They say he's 100% from those injuries, and obviously playing. Big role here with 5:22 to go, and it's 1st and 15. Shaw. Derek Johnson makes the tackle.
Well, anything sideline to sideline, look out for number 11. Derek Johnson can track those plays down. A little misdirection counterplay here, trying to get around the outside, but the Longhorn defense, with their speed, they're going to make that play most of the time. Number 2 defense in the nation coming into this football game, and Derek Shaw trying to get around the corner. Nothing there for him. Now, Pogai, big quarterback. He's 245 pounds. I saw him warming up down on the field, and I said, hey, this is one of those new dimension quarterbacks. Got big players out there and being asked to lead this football team.
And that will bring Josh Fields back into the game, so Fields okay. Pogai started 17 straight games until this year when Fields took over. Fields had the 2 comeback wins against Baylor and Oklahoma last year coming off the bench.
Well, you got to think here on 2nd and long, you have 3 downs for the first down. Don't have to get it all at once.
2nd down, 15 to go. Fields in trouble and goes down. Marcus Tubbs. He has been dominant of late, and the big 300-pound junior from DeSoto, Texas, welcomes Fields back to the football game.
Well, Marcus Tubbs take advantage of a Josh Fields mistake. Josh Fields actually moves to his left. He wants to throw the ball immediately, but he doesn't do that. That allows Marcus Tubbs. Watch here. He's going to look in the middle of the field, try to throw the ball. He's going to pump. Marcus Tubbs is out here and going to come after the play. See the pump, and then Marcus Tubbs just continues. Josh Fields, stay in the pocket. Don't go outside where those big defensive tackles are.
So, 3rd and 23. The ball on the 33-yard line. Fields out of the shotgun. Needs to get to the 10. Lofts it up. Caught. Lewis. Touchdown, Cowboys. Incredible. John Lewis. And Oklahoma State has stunned this crowd in Austin.
Excellent throw by Fields, throwing it up there to one of his big receivers, and Lewis comes down with perhaps the biggest catch of his career here, a chance to get the Oklahoma State Cowboys squared up here if they go for the 2 points, and I'm sure they will.
Yeah, that's what's next. We'll get to that big play in a moment, but 2-point conversion needed to tie this game up. 33 yards on the touchdown play. Lewis getting the TD is second. It makes it a 17-15 game. Texas with 4:04 to go. Going for 2. Fields. Back to pass. Woods. Incomplete.
Bill, this is a heck of a drive by Oklahoma State. 9 plays, 99 yards from their 1-yard line. Take it in for a score.
Cowboys not through yet. 17-15. Hang with us.
count on your defense. You got plenty of time. Kick the ball deep. You've got 3 timeouts. A lot of time left in this football game.
And Texas will bring it out. McCullough stumbling inside the 20-yard line.
Well, let's take a look at Josh Fields getting this score here for the Cowboys. You've got Rashawn Woods outside here. Everyone look at the coverage out here. Josh Fields goes back to Lewis on the left side. Rod Babers has coverage but can't pull it out. Good job that time of throwing it up to an alternate receiver. You don't have to go to Woods all the time. That's exactly what the Cowboys do here. Great effort by Lewis on staying there, making the grab and pulling it down. Now here's Rashawn Woods. You want to get the 2 points, go to your big guy, push it into the end zone. He comes back. He's going to catch his football, but I think his feet are actually in the field of play. That's a tough call. You saw the line judge there, and he ruled it that he was not in the end zone with the grab.
Now the clock becomes a big factor as Texas will try to run it as Cedric Benson stopped by Kareem Smith. As the clock inside 3:45 and the Longhorns with a 2-point lead. Let's go down to Jim Knox.
All right, tell you what, Bill Moot on the Oklahoma State bench, a very confident team. Rashawn Woods just turned to me and said they're going down today. Josh Fields just told his teammates we're going to get the ball back and we're going to win this thing. We'll see what happens.
All right, let's see if that Cowboy defense that has been out on the field a lot, Gary. Time of possession 32 minutes to 23 in favor of Texas on a hot afternoon here in Austin. 2nd and 10 for the Longhorns. Sims in the pass to Jeffrey. Incomplete. Williams covering, and now a huge 3rd down for Texas.
A big question coming into this ball game. Well, how will the Longhorns respond 4-0 coming into this football game when they have Big 12 competition, which is obviously a lot more competitive than what they faced the first 4 ball games? Oklahoma State Cowboys have come in here. They've hung in this football game. Hey, may not have been pretty, but they've kept it close. They've done what they need to do to stay in this game. This right here is a huge play for Texas. They want to have a chance to win this game. They need to get a 1st down. It's 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10. Ball at the 18. They got to get to their own 28-yard line. Sims to throw it. Got knocked from behind. Loose football, and it'll be ruled an incompletion. Kareem Smith, Jr. from Miami, Florida, came in with the pressure in the face of Chris Sims.
Huge play by Kareem Smith. Comes around the left side, comes around Robbie Doan, the left tackle. You see big Robbie here? He's got covered, or he's trying to block Kareem, who does the swim move, goes underneath. Just knocks Chris Sims a little bit early before he delivers the football. Now it's 4th down punting situation. Remember, the sun is right in the face of the returners here, so I would take caution if I was a returner. Make sure I can see the football.
Bradford gets a clean snap, good kick. Davis Bryant, and they do get away from it. Takes a Texas roll, but Oklahoma State will get excellent field position. Well, as we get ready for this all-important drive, let's take a look at our Suzuki Heisman watch. Chris Sims, and who's had a very fine afternoon here today. You see his efficiency. Seneca Wallace has certainly jumped into the national spotlight with a big win over Nebraska. Kingsbury, a record 6 TDs last weekend. Dorsey of Miami. Charles Rogers, a great wideout from Michigan State on the Suzuki Heisman watch. Well,
this is why you like college football. This kind of atmosphere, 2 teams, hey, just battling it out there. The Longhorn defense on the field. Hey, they've got to show their heart here. And obviously Oklahoma State looking to pull up a big upset.
1st and 10. They give it to Seymour Shaw. Texas front there to stuff him after a short gain. Tubbs makes the tackle. Well, 2nd-ranked Texas has been dominant here at home. Their win streak at 15, 5th best in the country. Nebraska at the top with 24, and Texas trying to stretch it to 16 today and being pushed to the max. And Gary, I think it goes back to what you're saying. We talked to Mac Brown about how good is your team, and he said we've met all the challenges so far, but the one thing we don't know, because they've pretty much been on cruise control and dominated each game, how will we react? If they can survive this, they'll be a better football team for it when they play Oklahoma next week, because they'll have been in a situation like this. But right now, they're teetering a bit.
Well, you have to get into a hot kitchen to see if you can cook. And that's what happens here. Oklahoma State Cowboys came in here, the underdog, obviously, but they played in this football game consistently enough. They made some plays when they needed to, weren't spectacular, but they've kept it close. And actually, the Longhorns, if you wanted to look at it there from their point of view, they've allowed the Cowboys to hang around. And when you do that, you know, it makes it difficult at the end. Now you're asking the Longhorn defense with Corey Redding and company to come up big and make a stop here on this Cowboy offense late in this football game.
Executive producer of College Football Saturday is Bill Borson. Coordinating producers Roy Hamilton and Gary Garcia. Today's game produced by Bob Steinfeld, directed by Ken Miller, and Senior VP of Field Operations is Andrea Berry. We appreciate all their help and support here today, and what a dandy finish we may be in store for. 2:42 to go. 2nd and 9. The ball on the 42 for Oklahoma State, down 2. Fields rolling out. Complete. Woods. First down. Let's see where they mark it. Yes, it would appear to be so. Just inside Texas territory, beating Vasher on the play.
Well, if you're going to go with one guy, go with your best guy. Rashawn Woods down here pushing Vasher off. Bill, this is a one-man route. No other receivers in the play for the Cowboys. And Rashawn Woods just pushes Vasher back. They have to respect his speed and ability to make the big play. But that was a very big first down. They're now in Longhorns territory, with 2:37 left.
And remember, folks, we're talking field goal for the win. And Luke Phillips, you mentioned last year about his leg, 52-yarders against Oklahoma. So he's done it in pressure situations. Hand off here. Host of tacklers to meet the ball carrier, though, is Redding leading the way. Shaw again. Shaw.
And they have to take another timeout. It's their second timeout here, Bill.
And they have one remaining. One timeout remaining as Shaw, for the day now, for Oklahoma State, 21 carries, 99 yards.
You know, that actually didn't look like a big play, but it really was, because the offensive line for Oklahoma State actually blocked very well on that play. Corey Redding just makes an exceptional play, getting off the block. Seymour Shaw, if he'd have stayed outside, hey, he would have run for about 15 yards, but he turned it back inside, and he ran into big Corey Redding.
Game turned late in the third. A couple of Texas penalties, with Texas up 17-3, and OSU on one play got right back in it.
Well, Tatum Bell, look at the speed here. 4-3-4. Watch the sideline work. Good job. We replayed this over and over again. He was inbounds, just outran Texas's defense. The Cowboys are hanging tough. They're making plays when they need to. Weren't able to run the football very well against this Longhorn defense. But Tatum Bell showing his speed. 4-3-4 in the 40, an exceptional back. Came in and played well when he needed to.
And how Texas right now is going. Not one, not two, but 3 missed field goals today from 24, 37, and 47. And Oklahoma State has been opportunistic to take advantage of that.
Bill, this is how I think. It is 2nd down and 9 yards to go for a first. I think you use 3 plays for the first down. Don't have to worry about trying to get a big play here. Use the downs you have. Just be effective. Stay within your offense.
2nd and 9. Field short drop. Intercepted. Rod Babers, and that may do it. Babers picks it off. The senior out of Houston, and Rod Babers.
Complete miscommunication between Rashawn Woods and Josh Fields. Josh Fields thinks Rashawn is going to come inside, but he stays to the outside. And I tell you, Babers probably didn't have the greatest coverage, but he was in the right spot where he needed to be to make the interception. You see Woods here on the outside, and take a look here. Who's going to come back to the ball? Rashawn needs to come inside, but he doesn't do it, but Babers does and makes the interception. That's a great job, being opportunistic, make the play when it's there, and Rod Babers does that for the Longhorns. Wow. How close.
Babers comes up with the interception, his first of the year, and Texas now will try to grind it out. Remember, Oklahoma State with just the 1 timeout remaining. There's no 2-minute warning in college football, and the Cowboys will use that timeout right here with 2:14 to go.
Well, that's a pretty good football game, probably more than we had expected coming in here, being close. This Cowboy team has done a good job. Texas, their defense, hey, they made plays when they need to. Rashawn Woods, we talked about at the beginning of the show, Bill, being a go-to guy, and they certainly have gone to him here late. 6 catches for 63 yards.
Well, I think the thing that you couldn't judge, because Oklahoma State, even though they played 2-2 coming in here, you didn't know the pride and just the determination that this ball club has, that they have shown here today, win or lose.
Well, Les Miles has to be happy about his effort here from his football team. It wasn't the prettiest day for them playing wise, but they made plays when they needed to. That's just an untimely interception, a big play for the Longhorns on defense.
Well, another first down, and this one is over. Benson that time very close, but a little shy. Following today's game in many of our Fox Sports Net regions, it'll be the Big 12 postgame report with Bill Jones and Dana Larson. They'll have up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the conference and nation. That's the Big 12 postgame report immediately following our game. Check your local listings.
That guy there, number 1 for the Longhorns, Sloan Thomas, had a huge day today, Bill. 7 catches, 130 yards.
Career day.
That's a career day for him, and he has shown up big, minus Roy Williams. I don't think Roy Williams is completely healthy in this Texas offense.
3rd and 1, they need to get it. They do, and that ought to take care of business for the Longhorns. Cowboys cannot stop the clock, and Texas, barring a fumble on a snap, will escape with a 2-point win over the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Well, the Cowboys, mentioned last year, 4-7, and even though they beat Oklahoma late, they lost a triple overtime game to Missouri. They lost a 3-pointer to the eventual Big 12 champ Colorado, and a bitter, bitter pill that they're going to be forced to swallow here today in Austin. And the Pokes next up at Kansas State. They're just underway in a huge game at Colorado today. Texas, of course, beats Oklahoma next week in Dallas. 1st and 10. Sims trying to get a few more seconds, and then takes the knee. Make sure that he only has to take 2 more snaps.
Now he's a game quarterback. Josh Fields, I think, did a nice job today. Kind of a strange release, but he's got a guy he can go to in Rashawn Woods, throw the ball up there and make plays to him. Just a one miscommunication problem late in the ball game between those two, and it was opportunistic for Rod Babers and the Texas Longhorns to make that interception.
Fields 14 of 29, 134 yards, a touchdown of 33 yards to Lewis, and 2 intercepted. Of course, Babers was the one to pretty well lock it up, and now Texas will take a knee one more time, and that will be the football game. As Sims does so, and Chris, 267 yards through the air, matching his career high in completions and bettering his attempts, 24 of 46. And the Longhorns, 2nd ranked in the country, win at 17-15 over the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. It stayed perfect. 5-0. Extend the home game winning streak to number 16.
Well, a lot of people want to see the Longhorns in a test, and they were tested today. Wasn't a great effort overall by the Longhorns, but they hung in there and they did what they needed to do to win this football game. Still on track for the Big 12 championship, the Big 12 showdown in the South next weekend, as they go to Dallas to face the Sooners from Oklahoma. That should be one heck of a ball game, Bill.
Benson 117 yards rushing today to add to the cause. As Texas gets the victory, what a fight it was here in Austin. Remember to join us next Saturday at 12:30 Eastern for the Dr. Pepper Big 12 football game of the week, as number 23 Texas A&M will meet Baylor. Coming up tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern, number 3 Oklahoma travels to Mizzou to meet the Tigers. And then at 10:15 Eastern, 7:15 Pacific, 8th ranked Oregon will take on Arizona, followed immediately by the NFL show. Now, this is Bill Ann for Gary Reasons and Jim Knox saying so long from Austin, where Texas wins it 17-15.